3, 4.
My name is Sam, and that's not all. I got a pretty good show with my good friend Paul. So listen up to the chairman of the board. I talk to him and he talks to me. We talk a lot of shit, but you get it for free. So don't complain, these gadgets cost a lot. So now we're at the end of the song, and everybody knows what's going on. So here we have the chairman of the, yes we have the chairman of the board. Because bored.
Because we're bored.
Because we're bored.
Too, Paul.
I know. I can count some.
Don't be a dick right away.
Oh my god. Right, I know.
Welcome to episode 2, chairman of the board. I sound
like my mic's not on. That's
it's
right.
never on, Sam.
That's about the second time I've done that, and this is only our second episode.
I know. You didn't do it last time though, but you did it.
I did it on the test before. Such an idiot.
I thought we were going to have crazy technical difficulties here. We got signed out of YouTube. We had a webcam that wasn't working.
I know last time we started a couple of minutes late because we forgot to put the... You're supposed to click preview and then you have to hit live stream, so there was like a delay and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So this time we had it set up fine, but then for some reason YouTube logged me out.
I just scratched my face, I could hear it. Sounds like there's mice.
Maybe there is, Paul.
I'm fucking not my
Maybe
beard.
there is mice.
I've not got enough beard.
Oh yeah, you shaved his
I know.
beard.
Sam was worried that I wouldn't have enough beard, and I feel like it's coming back. That'd be good.
We're good.
I think we're good. Sam,
yeah.
I feel like we've got a lot to cover this week, and I feel like it's going to be. We had comments last week that we were overly serious, and we weren't funny. And I feel like if you're wanting a laugh, just fucking turn off now, because like we've got a lot in here.
Yeah, this episode's probably going to be a kind of... I don't know, it doesn't have to be too, but I don't know what you're going to say. It could be.
Well, I don't know if it's funny stuff, but like I like to think that we can bring a funny side to things. Look at all my notes.
We can, we just sometimes choose not to.
I know. Don't you read my notes?
No, I think last week as well, it was sort of, because it was our first week, we were kind of still trying to, find out.
But see, that's what, like, we would talk about that anyway.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, no, we would. That was.
We're not always full of jokes when we're just talking to each other.
No.
But sometimes we are.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's good.
Sometimes it is good. Sometimes we like to sing a lot as well.
We do.
But that will never
I don't think we should do that.
No, it'll never happen. It'll just be me and you sing Tenacious D for 2 hours.
Plus there's the whole issue of the copyright will get taken off of YouTube. Because YouTube will detect my voice and it'll be like, that's Jack Black.
Who's the fucking other guy? I don't know.
Oh, I think we're going to have a good show though.
I hope so.
A lot of people...
I feel like we're bustling with content. We have a guy that's practically waiting to fucking phone in. He sent my message, so just hold off. Hold off a wee bit.
I do appreciate that, but I kind of have to try and keep it to this format of... That still sounds a bit kind of echoey. Is that alright? That sound okay?
I don't know, I can hear you thumping about.
Alright. If our volume's not right, if there's something not mixed right, if you give us a message and let us know, that sounds a bit better.
Yeah. I don't know what the best way to get us live is. I mean, I would say Twitter, but nobody's really on the Twitter, so, I mean, like,
well, we're not
Facebook,
on the Twitter either.
So. I could be on the Twitter, but, like, I'll open the Facebook.
Yeah.
And you can send us a message, and then we can... you can like message in live.
So we're still sort of feeling out how this whole thing's going, but so if you want to just help us out, message us if you think that one of us is too loud or anything like that. I'm just gonna give me 1 second. I'm just gonna lift this.
Yeah, sure. I was very impressed with the Facebook this week, Sam, because I put up a post a couple of days ago, and I was saying like help us kind of like. I was saying the Maverick Media YouTube's nearly at 1,000 viewers, and we were nearly at 100 likes and 100 views, and now we're near 120 I think now for last week's episode, but we've and then you're up over 1,000 views on the YouTube channel as well, which is really good. I
mean, some people might think 120, that's not that. That's pretty good for this is like.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? This is a brand new thing. No one knows if it's any good yet. We don't even know if it's any good yet.
No, I know. Have you listened back to it?
I haven't actually, no. That was the thing I was going to say as well. Like, I mean, I've been quite busy, and I think that was one of the reasons last week as well.
it kind of got off to a slow start because I hadn't prepared anything. I hadn't thought about what we were going to talk about, and it was just sort of trying to wing it from the get-go.
Yeah.
I have something that I thought about talking.
Look at this. Can I just say, we weren't prepared at all last week. Now, like last night, what I did was I went through various things that I was told to talk about, and I've wrote notes so I know what to talk about this week. And also, me and Sam have just equipped ourselves with notepads that we found in a drawer in the house. So we're ready to rock and roll. Sam's got a subject.
And after as well, having done the first one, we've now had a lot of messages saying talk about this. Can you talk about this?
This is what I've been picking up, because a lot of the things that people message in about, I was like, the fuck's that? And I was researching last night, Sam. I had to learn stuff. I went and schooled myself, taking time out my own life,
taking time out your own
to
time,
educate myself. Even stuff that I didn't know about or hadn't heard about before. I was like, fuck, I need to learn about that so I can be like when number one fan Ryan Green phoned in last week and asked us about WhatsApp. I mean, I didn't have a clue about like what that meant, or like I knew what WhatsApp was, but I mean, I was going to read about it.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
During the week, and I couldn't.
Do you know what though? I think it's kind of good when there's a subject that maybe one of us will know something about, but the other one doesn't. Because if we both know about the thing and we're just having the conversation, it's almost like pandering. Like we're just, you know what I mean? We're just having it for the sake of having it. And that's one of these things. I'm just like, it's so unnatural.
Do you think the whole career thing was like that last week? Because we both knew about it.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, there was obviously some little bits, but I remember like thinking, like there was a lot of times you'd be telling me things, and I'm like, yeah, I get it, and then, but that's what it is. It's like when something new comes up, then it's like, then the conversation can progress.
It's better.
Yeah.
I learned a lot of the evolution stuff yesterday, Sam. I see my phone's flashing. That means somebody's telling us something somewhere. But I need to put the old glasses on. Alright. Oh well, apparently I've just got some feedback from our stationery head of stationery.
Right. That's
secured as a notepads. Our volumes are okay, Sam.
Oh, good.
And we've got 6 live viewers, so that's quite exciting.
Woo!
Thanks very much, guys.
Sorry, there was one thing I wanted to say before we got started doing anything.
Oh my god, I'm excited.
And I completely forgot about it. I was saying to myself, don't forget to do that, and I did. I went and forgot. I wanted to just, before we started, say thanks to Hannah Ford for making
the artwork,
because that's pretty awesome.
I know, I liked it.
I really like it.
I know, I was pleased with it.
And guess what? If you don't like it, make your own fucking art.
Yeah.
Send us in.
Fan art.
No, but no, Paul.
Fart work.
All right. No, yeah. So we appreciate that. Thanks.
Don't send us farts in jars.
Yeah. Well, it's not like we're going to open them.
Yeah, but we could keep it. Imagine if, like, see over there, there's like a radio.
Let's make that a thing.
But if we had like a shelf of all the fans' farts in jars
with their names on it.
That'd be fucking really creepy.
It would be. But you know what? No one else is doing it. And that's what sells, Paul.
It's not sex. Farts in jars.
Sex doesn't sell.
I think I'd be a bit freaked out if somebody sent a fart in a jar though.
How would you know that it was like a fart though? Because it'd just be a jar.
I know.
They could put some nice fresh Highlander in that jar. And tell you it's a fart, and then they'll be laughing because like he thinks it's a fart and he won't open it. Yet if he does open it, he's gonna get some nice fresh air. And then
but you would never open it because that would be like the risk. You don't want to open it to let the fart out.
All right, we're not having a segment on farts and jars. I hope you didn't prepare for that. I hope you didn't write that down.
There's me just saying this is going to be very, very serious. Fart jars. Right, so it was nice artwork anyway. Thanks very much for that.
Hashtag fart jars if you want
fart jars
to talk about anything. See, I think you've got more to talk about than I do, so I think you should go first with something.
Oh my god! Well, mine's just going into things off the Facebook. I'll just rip one out.
Sure.
See, that's I'm rip one out. Right now, this is going to get. There's 2 things here that are biggies. Right.
Right.
And one of them, I didn't know, it's a big issue, and I feel like everybody's like, you need to talk about it because we're Scottish.
Oh no.
Right, well, we'll just leave that.
Is it Scottish independence?
Scottish independence.
Aye. I say oh no because I'm pretty much 50-50. And my reason is, I don't think people like my reason.
What's your reason?
My reason is that, to me, for the most part, it's completely irrelevant.
See, that's kind of what I was thinking. I was like, I don't know how it would affect. Like, I've never voted, right? I've just never have, because I'm like, well, I don't really see, like, I maybe should. I don't look into politics that much. I don't really see things affect me overly. But I mean, I'm sure if it was different. But then I was looking into it. I didn't have a clue about Scottish independence, so I was looking into it last night, and it was really fucking hard to do, because I was like, there's loads of articles on it. I'm like, I just want, like, essentially pros and cons, and I want to find something that's biased or unbiased, because everything is obviously like newspapers and that, and they're like the Telegraph and all this kind of stuff, and they're going to be like in favour of England. Then
it's,
like,
it's hard to sort of weed through the bullshit and get the proper intellectual arguments.
But I've got some arguments, right?
Right.
And after my arguments, I'm more for the for, right?
Right.
So I don't know like what other arguments there are, but I've just kind of went through. Right. Basically, the for arguments seemed a lot stronger than the cons or the against. Right, first of all, right, we've got a thing called, there's a thing in this country called winter allowance, right, and it's for old people and stuff like that, like no, they're always worried about old people dying in winter. And obviously Scotland's like a harsher climate, like especially up north in the Highlands and stuff like that, and they get harder winters, and like in the Wee Islands and like Shetlands and all that kind of stuff, they get harder winters, but they get the same allowance, even as like somebody down in Cornwall, where it's maybe not that bad weather, like somewhere that's like like closer to France, or like it's supposed to be warmer down south of the country, they get the same allowance. And an argument should be that the people up north in worst weather areas should get more allowance.
Oh, I get you. Yeah.
So that was one argument for, because it's like as the way we are just now, it's like one country, so it's the same everywhere, because then people would be like, why is English folks getting the same as them Scottish folks up there? They're rolling in their winter money.
Is that an English accent?
It's supposed to be, mate. Oh, we were caught in a geezer. It was really bad, I was trying to do an accent and think.
No, it was probably pretty good. I don't know what English people sound like.
I love a good accent, Sam. I do.
Well, you do like your sort of English. What's it? Because you do a bit of rapping sometimes as well.
Yeah, man.
What's that voice? What's that? Where's that from?
It's like London.
Right.
I don't know, like it comes out in different forms.
I'm not putting on you on the spot. I'm not telling you to do like a rap right.
Do a song.
I'm just trying to think what that voice.
It's like like a guy for the streets, like fucking. How would you even say it?
What would I say? You get me blood.
You get me blood.
I hear you saying
we
that.
even talking about family. Trust me, like that kind of voice.
I could not do that.
How not?
My voice is.
What about like a Newcastle accent?
There's our guessing game. You tell me the place now. Trying to think of what they sound like.
How are you, man? I'm going doing the tune. That's like Jordan.
Isn't
that's Newcastle.
Yeah. What's Scouse? Is that the same?
Is that thing? Liverpool?
I don't know. Oh no.
Alright. Calm down.
Yeah.
Liverpool.
That's right. Okay, so we've got the accents down. Yeah, I know what you mean. So it's the same.
I like an accent.
Right. Okay. I want you to tell me all your
my
things
points
that you've written down first.
Right, so I've got the winter allowance. Right, I've got apparently as well, we'll have a better economy once if we get Scottish independence, because we've got oil. Right, and then the English would be like, I think they're not happy about that, because then they're like, well, we're obviously getting some of their oil money because we're part of one nation. But also we'd get, I just hear somebody laughing through there. Because obviously they would split it. Or like some of our oil money goes to, like, it's split between the UK, but then we would just get all the oil money, they wouldn't get any. So that's a benefit. Right, this is another weird one as well, right? In like the House of Lords, they've got like seats for like all the kind of government people and all that kind of stuff, right? And England, the UK, like there's 26 seats are taken up by members of the Church of England. And these aren't like politicians, they're like bishops and stuff like that.
That's right, yeah.
So like they're saying if we
had the same,
we wouldn't have that though.
Right, we would just have.
It would just be like they were saying it would just be like, it would all just be like political figures, and like it would be more of a democracy instead of these people that are like, I don't know, like the Church of England. I think like no, they're saying about like make this illegal for like same-sex marriage and stuff like that because of religious views. Like we wouldn't really come into that then.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if we were guaranteed a separation of church and state,
but we wouldn't even be in the same government as them then if we're independent.
Yeah, but that's the thing though, like I mean, if we vote for independence, is everyone just thinking, well, now that we're independent, now we don't have to do that thing? But that doesn't mean that we're going to do the other thing.
Aye, that's true.
You know, like, so what are the guarantees as well? That's
guarantees, right? Right, so I had that about the 26 seats in there. So if we got ourselves, it would be more political, more democratic. A bad point was that I actually thought I had more pussies on that. A bad point was that we would have a smaller voice, like because we would just become our own separate country. So we'd have like a smaller voice in the kind of say of like the European Union, if you know what I mean. And there was another con was the like we owed, like obviously the UK owes debts to other countries. Then them debts would be split, so we would get like a remainder of our debts. Like they would need to figure out what Scotland owes, if you know what I mean.
And how much are we paying towards the debt just now?
I don't know, but it would get paid in one go.
Scotland's smaller than England, so surely our contribution
must be smaller.
That's so true. If it's getting divided, is it getting divided fairly, or is it just 50-50?
I don't think they could justify it being 50-50
because that's what I'm thinking. If it was 50-50, then we are going to end up having to pay more. Than if we
no, they wouldn't be, because they're saying that like they would need to figure out who owes what kind of thing and divvy it up like that. But they couldn't split it 50-50 because I mean there's more people that live in London than live in Scotland as a whole.
Is that right?
I think so. I've heard that fact. I'm pretty sure that's close to right or right.
Yeah.
But I mean, like London isn't like, it's not just centre. It's like all the kind of boroughs and that in London. But I read that and I was like, I kind of was going for it. But I mean, I think there would be a lot of trouble in it because of just the cons, or like, I don't know. I just think it would cause.
Do you think it'll strengthen this idea of patriotism?
I think. Do you know what I think will happen, Sam? I think like at the start it'll be amazing. Like I think like we'll probably have like a boom, like the economy and all that will pick up and everything will be going great. And then after a while it'll just go shit. Like right. Because I just think like Ireland, like when Ireland became a republic. Do you know what I mean? They had like an amazing boom, but they now like they're like no doing that great.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing. Anything could happen, right? I mean,
look at Greece as well.
Yeah, and this comes down to my stance on it. And when this is what I say, people probably won't like it if I say, well, it's largely irrelevant, because people are getting really excited about this now, and you get a lot of people that are quite enthusiastic about it. From where I'm standing, and I could be wrong, if you want to phone in and correct me, we can have that conversation. But right now, I see all economies in the world is going down the toilet.
Aye, no, you're right.
And it's not due to bad political decisions or anything like that. It's due to the fact that we all use money which is created through fractional reserve, lending policies. People know about that, then they know what I'm talking about. It's like a game of musical chairs. The economy is just now.
It's just getting shifted away,
and we're getting more and more in debt, and we're getting in debt to ourselves in a way. So that and then you add the interest. Well, people don't even think about this interest. Well, I don't want to have a podcast about going into because we can do this another one.
Aye.
But
you could just say, but look at the Zeitgeist film, and that kind of gives you a bigger explanation of it.
So I mean, that's what I'm saying. If people want to have the conversation, feel free to phone in. But so my stance is that all the economic reasons for going independence, I couldn't give a shit about. When people are saying, "Oh, but we would be better, so much better economically," I'm like, "Cool, for how long?"
And then it would go for how long? That's what I was thinking.
It's completely irrelevant. So we need to look.
I feel like I've just went back on my argument. I feel like at the start of this I was like for it, but I don't really care.
Well, no, but the thing is though, I mean, you had some. But I mean, it's the same thing when people were saying we shouldn't go independent because of economic reasons. I'm the same with them. I'm like that's got nothing to do. It doesn't matter. It's completely irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. And I think it's a lot. I think the turn that we're on, the thing over the horizon, I think it's a lot quicker than most people think. But
sorry, Sam.
So I'll just finish. So I was going to say. So then when people are trying to convince me one way or the other, I have to go outside of economics.
Yeah.
And so I'm more now, I'm largely 50-50, but I do slightly sway towards going independent, and the main reason is for a psychological reason, and the fact that we have monarchy. And I think that is the most...
See, we'd be away from that then, do you know what I mean?
See, that's it. I think that's insane. And people will say, but the monarchy, they don't have like this power that they used to have. It's not like that, right? But it's a psychological thing where you're positioned to think that there's a hierarchy, you know, and it does come from this idea of a divine blood right and all this stuff. And there was a weird thing. There was on Big Brother a few years ago. There was a girl, and she was a Scottish girl. Right. Because I mean, you do get people. That's what I'm going to say is, she idolised the Queen. She loved the Queen, right? And I understand people in England, you know, getting their, you know, going up through the indoctrination. Well, not even necessarily just indoctrination, but being proud of where you're from. We've got a Queen. So if they're proud from
the Royal Mile, not the Royal Mile, that's in Edinburgh, but they're all out in that big road with the flags waving them when she's coming up. For the coronations and all that kind of carry on.
So you know, you can justify that to a large degree. But then when that sort of indoctrination starts bleeding over into, and you see other people from other countries talking about how great the Queen is, I'm like, really? You think there really is this social hierarchy where she's better than you, or she's above you, or she should be admired for doing what?
I know, and it's weird as well when like the sons, they go and visit other countries as well, and they go on like a royal tour. Like remember, like William and Kate did after they got married, and they go on this royal tour, and you're like,
sorry, that is one of the reasons as well. As people say, but it's good to have a queen, because think of the amount of tourists that come in and grow the economy because of they're coming in. Alright, okay, so we're going back to the economic argument. No, fuck it. Like the economy's fucked.
But they would still come here because we've got William Wallace.
but even if they did, like that's still not an argument that I'm willing to entertain, because it's just so...
It's not about that, it's about how the country runs and stuff like that. Like it's... Do you know what I mean?
Well, then you go into the politics, which I've got a lot to say about as well. But no, like so the economic arguments I just sort of dismiss almost. So then it comes down to what arguments do we have, and there is a psychological argument, and it's like just having a queen. Now, just by having a queen, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to grow up with this idea that, you know, there's probably a lot of people that don't see her as really being as any sort of higher authority than themselves or anything like that. There's probably a lot of people that don't. But just having the queen there, it sort of it lays down this psychological soil that if you didn't have that, you wouldn't be able to, like the extreme, the people that take it to the extreme, they wouldn't be able to flourish without that psychological soil. So it's for me, it's a completely psychological thing, and having a queen is such a bad idea. Even
I don't think even if I'm not over it or overly fond of it.
Well, that's it. But so even when people are saying, like, you know, but she doesn't do that much, it's not that bad. The fact that it exists at all, it just shouldn't.
It is a bad idea.
Because of the psychology that imposes upon us. So that's my main reason for wanting to go independent. Now, us going independent doesn't stop, you know, there being a queen, but it gets us further away from this idea that she has power, that she has, or any of them, any sort of person. You know, I mean, people can have ideas about politics. We've elected this leader, so we're given authority to him. But having authority as a birthright, you know, over other human beings, there's something profoundly fucking disturbing about that. So that's my main reason when I'm thinking about Scottish independence. And this is why I don't like to. I wasn't sure about having this conversation, because I know people will be arguing against that. But that's alright. You want to disagree with me? It's alright. It's only words. Phone in. Tell me why you disagree with me. You know, no one's going to follow it. We can just have the conversation. But that's my reason. I've probably got a couple more reasons, but we'll kind of leave it there. The one you brought up actually about there not being the
winter allowance.
No. Because that's an economic reason.
What else did I bring up? The 20 seats out.
Yeah.
20 seats. 26
not the Lords.
seats.
The
Better economy, the oil.
no. Is it the Lords? Are they?
No, it's like there's 26 seats in the House of Lords that are dedicated to people of the Church of England, and they're like bishops and stuff like that.
Yeah. So so it's all right. Okay. So I'm trying to work out. It was because there's a House of Lords, and that there's only a percentage of them. That's the church. It's not all of them, right? So exactly. Because someone's a member of a church, therefore they're allowed a seat into the political debate,
running of a country.
Yeah.
Aye, I think that's
ridiculous.
Crazy.
Ridiculous, right?
Aye.
So yeah, that's another reason. Yeah, get the fuck out there. But that's what I'm saying. It's not a guarantee though that okay, well if we go off and have our thing in independence, what if the guy who's running for whatever decides, oh yeah, well we're not going to have a separation of church and state? Then I'd just be thinking, all right, well, what the fuck was the point in us? You know, if that was the argument that swayed me to go independent, it's kind of useless now.
I think the church is only in there because of his, like, the royals as well. They're kind of very Christian, is it Christian, whatever they are? But they're like they would be a big influence on why they're in church. There. Well, there you go then. That's why as well they're in there.
Yeah,
it's simple, Sam.
I hate it.
Kill the Queen.
Oh, I don't know if you can say stuff like that, by the way. Scrap that. He's joking.
Totally joking.
I'm saying that because I read a thing. Apparently, it's still a law that if you even think about hurting the Queen, you don't have to say that you're going to do it.
Yeah.
If you even think it, that's a punishable crime.
Aye.
Now, I read on some website. I can't remember. I don't have the reference here. Go check out if I'm wrong. Fair enough, but that's what it said. It's still a valid law today because it was one of these like look how silly we are. Like we still have. It's like when you hear about those weird laws in Alabama where you're not allowed a giraffe on your roof after 3 o'clock. Like you know, just a ridiculous law that for some reason still exists, right? So it's one of those types of things. So supposedly that still exists. That you're not even allowed to think about harming the Queen or anything like that. Which just goes to show you what I'm talking about. This thought crime that's imposed upon you just because you happen to have been born in a country which is bananas enough to think that there's another human being that just by being born with what they thought was blood right, divine blood right, therefore they have dominion over you. Right. Scottish independence.
I got a message here saying apparently the House of Lords is different than the House of Parliament. I don't know what that.
See, I read up on it one time and I can't remember the ins and outs of it.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's like the House of Lords.
I don't know if that changes the argument in any way.
It's something to do with. I think is that they're not elected by the people. So you've got the House of Commons, which are elected by the people. I might be wrong here, by the way, but but the House of Lords are not. I don't think. I don't know. Anyway, yeah,
the Scottish independence.
Done.
I'll pick that
out of here. That was really loud. Sorry, folks.
Get out of here.
Right, next subject.
But you go one of yours, Samuel.
One of mine. I only have one.
You've got 2 lines written down there, though.
Oh, that's just for me, Paul. That's not for you. That's for me. You shouldn't be looking at that. What if you could read upside down and then you fuck up my whole routine?
I can't even fucking read your horrible handwriting.
Right, so no, it was this thing that I got told about the other day, and I found it really interesting. So it was one of my friends, and he was telling me about this. It's a technique for increasing your mental agility when trying to do something, right? Trying to perform a task. So if you've got something that you've got to do, even if it's like, you know, you've got to do it for work or whatever, like, you know, if the task is what it is, and you know, say you had an hour to do it, then you'll do it in an hour. Yeah. Right. But if you had 2 hours to do it, you would be able to sort of stretch it out and say, oh well, this took me 2 hours to do it. Yeah. So it's trying to play around with what, like, you know, set yourself a task, and it's called Pomodoro. Right. Pomodoro.
You can't even read your handwriting and you're looking at it the right way up.
It's called the Pomodoro technique. Right. And you basically you give yourself 25 minutes, right, to accomplish this, whatever it is, this task, and you're only like allowed 25 minutes. You give yourself 25 minutes, and that's it. Then you stop, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is, I might be explaining it wrong here, but this is just from what I understood of it. So my friend was telling me about it, and he has.
Oh, sorry. Can I just say before we get into this, the Scottish Parliament thing, the Scottish independence, that came from a question on our Facebook. So thanks to Michael Curley. Sorry. Okay, me on.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, carry on.
Aye. Thanks,
Mike.
Aye. So it's called the Pomodoro technique.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure I'm saying that right, but it's just not sounding right.
Mm-hmm.
Where you give yourself 25 minutes to do something.
Right. Like an example task would be what, Sam? Like learn to play a song or something like that.
Yeah. Well,
right.
this is that's the example that I had lined up. So when I was thinking about
right,
example. Okay. So what it is my friend has this other friend who is a musician, and so he said to him, okay, do you want to do this thing? He explained to him what it was. You've got 25 minutes. It's so weird. It's such a big thing though. There's an app. You can buy an app, and all the app is like
a fucking timer.
It's a timer for 25 minutes. And like when I was googling it, you can buy these. Pomodoro is what is it? Is it Italian or something for it? It means tomato, right?
Right.
So fuck knows why they go with this name, but so you get all these tomato shaped egg timers, right? That
you say buy. Tomato, I say tomato,
and so yeah, but apparently it's a big thing. There's probably a lot more to it than I'm really doing justice. I only had it explained to me a few days ago, and I'm still not entirely sure I get it. That's why I can't really think of an example. But so what happened was my friend said to his friend who's a musician, he said, I'm going to... The thing is as well, it's not just go do this. It's set yourself limited sort of options, right? I think that's what it's about anyway. So he said, I'm going to ask you to write a song, and he'll give him some sort of like parameters. So it's like, you know, the song has to be in a certain key, or you know, I want this, the chorus to include this sentence, you know. So it gives, and I think that probably helps as well, because like I've always found that when it comes to do things, if you're limited by what you can do, it makes the decision process so much easier. It's like you compare it to, like, you know, a game of chess might last a couple of days or something, you know, whereas like a game of checkers, there's only so many things that you can do.
There's so many moves.
There's only so many decisions that you can make. So if you sort of limit your decisions, and you're also telling yourself it's 25 minutes and that's it, that's all you've got, there's an element to that as well that makes you think, right, okay, well, go for it, you know. So yeah, so he told him to write this song. There is a backstory to the song,
right? Do you know what the parameters he set for the song were?
No, I know it was. I think
like
he
said
examples
of like the key and stuff.
It may have been I want it to be this type of scale or this type of chord progression or something like that. He gave him a few. I think so. Anyway, I think that's how it worked, panned out. And so I'm just going to load it up here. So yeah, so then he sent him back this song, and so I wanted to sort of explain that, and then
this isn't going to knock us out with volume, is it, Sam?
No,
pay for volume for this.
Put it down.
Right, that's cool.
So, but the other thing as well is this song was recorded off this guy's phone, and then sent to him just after he'd done it. So don't be thinking like this is that he went into a recording studio and this is like this finalized version of this song or anything like that. This is just 25 minutes. This song was written, done, and then record. So he hasn't had time to even fucking practice it or go over it or anything like that.
25 minutes.
And so yeah, so
get it done.
25 minutes from starting writing it to having it finished.
From nothing to a full song.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And so I wanted to play it and just see what you thought. 25 minutes, like.
Let's
and
go.
This was the outcome.
Little dream light Last night I ran back to the place where I first come from, and I swam in the rivers and I drank from the well, and I stood outside the house where my brother was, and I was 9 years old when ran to the devil when the man said, boy, you gotta grow and win some medals, and you will do this for your country, you will do this for the ones you love, you will do this for the greater good, son. I'm afraid that you must run. Yes, you must run. You must run. You must run. I took an oath, kissed my mom goodbye. I learned my lines and I served my time. You can have a better life for them if you listen close to just what we tell you. And when I sleep in my bed, I dream that in my heart I'm still running, and I don't know if I do believe that I do this for my country, that I do it for the greater good, that I do it for the ones I love. I don't know why I run, why I run, why I run, why I run. Maybe one day our work will be done, and maybe one day we can stand in the sun. Maybe one day we get to come home, and one day we get to leave, and one day we get to run home, get to run home. We can run home, we can run home.
That is really good.
Do you like that? Is that okay?
That is really good. I like that.
How awesome is that?
That is, I've properly enjoyed that.
I fucking love it. I've listened to that about 20 times.
It's really,
I think it's brilliant.
well written. Like it's a properly structured song.
Yeah, that's it.
Fucking
though.
hell, man,
That's
that
what
is good.
I
I'm
can't believe it.
impressed
It's
by
like
that.
25 minutes before that was done.
There was no
That
song.
song
There was nothing.
wasn't in anyone's mind. There wasn't that song just didn't exist in the
I'm
world.
impressed by that.
25 minutes, and that's a proper fucking
I
song.
think all the things you could do in 25 minutes, apart from record a podcast.
Yeah, you couldn't do that in 25
No.
minutes and be a kind of sucky podcast.
No,
That's
no.
what people. I don't know if people are thinking like 2 hours. A podcast in 25 minutes would be. So,
You wouldn't get any of it.
so
I
yeah,
did enjoy that. Well done to
that's sorry, that's Brian Murphy. That guy's
Brian
name is.
Murphy. Well done.
And that's why I had 2 things written down, because I also wanted to say that if any of you guys like that, and how could you not? It's fucking awesome. Brian's band is called Arrow in the Sky, and you can download their EP on iTunes.
Aye.
So I'm not one for like plugging stuff or
Plug it.
like trying to get
Plug
like
it.
Adverts or something. But this is like one of my friends. So if you can spare like the £3 or whatever it is, and you liked it, go buy it. So
I did like it, man. I thought it was good.
I was really impressed with it. So that was the one thing that I thought, I'll tell Paul about that, and then I had to wait. I was like, wait,
I know,
I'll
that's killer
I'll
song.
tell you on the podcast, because then I can play the song as well.
I've
you
been
know.
making before we did this podcast, I was over quite a lot getting things set up and that, but then I find now I'm less inclined to come over, because then we'll be like, oh man, I heard, and then we'll be like, oh save it. We're like, no wait, can I tell you? I can't. There's
should
like
make a
a
video.
huge debate.
You should make a video with just that. Oh Sam, yeah, and that's why 2 guys who live together should never do podcasts.
That would never work.
It would never work.
I've had some up-to-date media attention that's happening right at the minute, Sam. Apparently Stuart Cook, the Cook star, Cookie Boy, no, he was never called that as far as I know, a guy who went to school with, he's listening to him. Apparently Hazel Curry says fart jars should be sent into us, hashtag fart jars. So hashtag fart jars.
Oh, sorry, one other thing, because Hazel mentioned it there. My cousin wanted us to talk about the Freeman stuff.
Right, let me start myself out, Sam.
I was gonna, but do you know what? I haven't actually looked at this stuff for quite a long time, and so I was gonna try and brush up on it so that I could explain it to you, because I know you don't really know much about it.
I'm not too up on it. I've seen the video of the guy in Glasgow in the van and that. I am John, son of whatever it was.
Yeah.
Have you seen that one?
Well, do you know what? I'm hesitant about explaining it because I'm thinking I might get some stuff wrong here, and
well, we already got the House of Lords wrong, so
yeah.
Maybe we should take some notes and then come back on it.
Well, it's up to you. I mean, I could kind of.
It's up to you, man. If you think how right can you get it?
Because I'm trying to think. There's a proper way of trying to explain it as well.
Right.
Because if you start off saying, well, there's these people called free men, and
wait, this is you explaining it now. So
it just went there, Paul. Right, okay, we'll go for it.
Fuck. Right.
So,
okay,
as I say, this is like, I think I was interested in it.
This came from, who's this came from, Sam?
This is from Chip Blair.
Chip Blair.
My homie.
Right.
And
quite like shouting people out, Sam. It makes me feel important.
It makes you feel proper.
It does.
Yeah, no, so if you were to say to someone like, oh, there's these people called free men, and what they do is they kind of live outside of the way the law works or something like that, you might wrongly associate them with like travellers or something like that, you know?
Right.
Or I don't know, someone who's trying to go off on their own path or anything like that. So, but it's not like that. So what it is that's what I'm saying, it's an awkward, there needs to be a structure to sort of explaining it. So basically what it is there's two types of laws that exist just now, and we're never taught that. We're always taught there's one law, there's the law, you know. If you go out and kill someone, that's you're breaking the law. Just like if you go out and throw litter on the ground, that's breaking the law. If they decide that you can't walk down the street with a beer and you do that, that's breaking the law.
But you can in Edinburgh.
Can you?
Yeah, you can.
Oh,
it's legal to drink in Edinburgh.
I was thinking that was random as fuck.
You can in Edinburgh.
Alright, okay. So so what they'll do is they'll change. So there's two different types of laws that exist though. And the one that we're taught that is the law is called case law or maritime admiralty law. Right? And this is a law that was developed for businesses. Okay, so because before people started trading cross seas and things like that, you just had one law. You just had the law of the land, and that law was extremely simple. There was only a few basic rules, right? So there was, you couldn't harm anyone else. And okay, so that's it. If you do anything to cause harm to another person, you've breached common law.
Yeah.
If you destroy or vandalize or take someone else's property, that's a breach of common law. And you know what? I think that's about it. You're not allowed to vandalize property. You're not allowed to steal from anyone, and you're not allowed to physically hurt anyone. And there's probably like a little cascade of like, you know, these are the finities of these laws, but that's pretty much it.
Just don't act like a bellend.
Pretty much. But you know what? So you say, well, what do you mean then? What's the difference? Well, the thing is, if I walk down the street and I'm drinking a beer, I'm not hurting anyone. I'm not stealing from anyone.
Yeah.
So how is that the same thing? Well, of course it's not the same thing. So you have common law, which is basically following those simple rules, and it's a real thing. It's like I've spoke to police about it, and because I wasn't sure, I'm like, if you look into common law versus case law or versus maritime admiralty law, it's got this vibe of like conspiracy to it. Like, you know, it feels like this isn't right. This isn't how the world works.
Yeah.
And there might be layers to it where there might be people adding on stuff, but I've yet to find anything that sort of flat out disproves this thing. And I mean, there's my headphones fucking up here.
Was that computer making that terrible buzzing noise?
Yeah.
Sounds like there's a bee living in it.
Sorry, we'll
It's alright. It's louder than last week.
we'll get on the Mac soon, and then we won't have to worry about that.
It's quiet.
Okay, so yeah, there's these two different laws. And
Chip has also said Scottish sovereigns. I think the guy in the van was a Scottish sovereign.
Yeah. So like,
Chip Matthews.
so basically, you have. See, this is why I really wanted to prepare before talking about. So basically, you can be in two different.
I have an idea, Sam.
Okay.
Right. What if next week you prepare and
No.
Chip,
I have to do it now.
Right. Okay. No, because I was
now
going to
I've
say
built it up.
what if Chip phones in next week and Chip can.
Well, I'll tell you what. We can talk about it now, and he can still phone in next week.
Right.
Like,
okay.
If,
Aye, that's fine.
If at any point
Anybody's welcome
yeah,
to phone in.
if you see something and you're watching this and it's like you see that it was aired like 5 weeks ago or something,
And you're like,
and you
God
don't
damn.
feel like you've missed your opportunity,
No, man.
phone in at any point and talk to us about anything.
I meant to say on the phone in situation, Sam, if people don't have Skype or don't have access to it or can't get Skype or for whatever reason, I don't know why, like send us a like private messages and we'll hook you up with a phone number, because obviously we don't want to put a phone number out there for anybody to get.
Yeah.
Because somebody did say to me like, I've not got Skype, so
If you private message us,
like send us a thing man, and you can phone in
That's true.
as well.
Okay.
Right, any. So continue.
So I don't know what time is it. Yeah, we've got about 50 minutes left, so I'm gonna try and run through as much as
an hour
we
and
can.
15 minutes left, so
I mean we've got
Alright.
about 50 minutes left before we can open up to calls,
Alright.
and then the subject will probably change. So I don't know what that was.
that was like a sound effect.
You're the sound guy now. Okay, so where was it? Right, so yeah, it's pretty interesting when you realise that you can manipulate it as well, because it's not just that we have these two different these two different types of laws. That would be a boring thing, for me to bring up if that's all it was. The thing is, you don't have to adhere to.
Chip's saying to do it next week. He started, Chip. He's on a roll.
I've started, aye.
Chip,
Okay.
there's no stopping him.
Okay, stops on my message.
Right.
That's probably because he wants to phone in, but don't worry, phone in next week if you want. But
Still phoning next week.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. If like you phone in next week, don't worry about it. Right, I really have to get this
Right,
now.
okay, Sam.
Right, so as I say, there's two different types of laws. Now, the thing is, you don't have to adhere
Mm-hmm.
to both laws,
Mm-hmm.
because the law that we think is just the law is designed for businesses, right? And so you're like, well, how do you get around this? Well, why does it apply to us then?
You're not a business.
To a certain extent, though, you are a legal entity, or I should
Right.
say, you have a legal entity, right?
Right.
And that is referred to as there's two different languages as well. I'm going to explain that in a second.
Oh,
But
fuck.
your legal entity is referred to as your person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you are not a person. You're human. You have a person, right?
Right.
Does that make sense to you?
Keep on.
So if I said to you, like, are you a person?
I'd say yes.
You'd say yes. But in legal
I
language,
should say no. I have a person.
in legal language, you're not a person. No one is a person. A person is like an avatar. A person is a representation of your legal standing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so
So far.
so when you go to court, right, you're representing your person,
Mm-hmm.
which is essentially it's your birth certificate,
Mm-hmm.
right? And your birth certificate, when you're born, the certificate gets drawn up and assigns a person to
Yeah.
the human being.
Like the person you are on paper.
Yeah.
Like you are a.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the person you are on paper.
Yeah.
That's then used for the thing is. The thing is, these laws, though, right? And I'm saying there's two different types of laws. The idea is that there's actually not two different types of laws. We think that there's like the common law and that there's maritime admiralty law. The maritime admiralty stuff, they're not actually laws, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're Parliament acts. When Parliament says something, they have an act new drawn up, and they draw up these things called statutes,
Right.
right? And if you look into, it's called blacks. See, this is another thing. I'm going to go into the language of it. It's called Black's Law Dictionary.
That's what
right?
the police use.
And probably, yeah, I know it's what people in court use. This is Black's Law Dictionary. It's a universal thing. They all use Black's Law Dictionary, and there's different volumes. And this is where if you look up the legal definition, and this is what I mean, it's 2 different languages, right? And it's actually got a fucking name. It's called legalese, right? It sounds like I'm making up. It sounds like conspiracy stuff, right? But it's true. There's a language called legalese, which is used in court or when a police officer is talking to you. And there's all kinds of crazy stuff. Like if a police officer asks you, do you understand? Right? In Black's Law, in legalese, he's not asking you if you comprehend what he's saying to you. He's asking you if you stand under his jurisdiction.
All right.
So if you say yes, I understand, you are foregoing, because when he comes up on this side and you come up on this side, you have different jurisdictions, right? So he has his Maritime Admiralty Law jurisdiction, upon which you cannot drink in the street, you can't smoke a joint in the street, you can't do whatever.
Unless you're in Edinburgh.
Unless you're in Edinburgh.
You can't smoke a joint in the street in Edinburgh.
Yeah. So, but then if you're walking down the street, you have your common law jurisdiction. So when you engage, you enter into a legal conversation, right? Whereas he says to you, do you understand? If you say yes, you are giving up power to him.
And then you're conforming to his law.
You're saying that you are acknowledging you're within his jurisdiction.
Yes.
Right? So so you understand all this?
Yeah, I do. I don't understand.
And I say,
you bastard. You fucking bastard, Sam. No, I don't understand.
Sorry, so we're not using so this is why, and a lot of people get confused about this, right? And so when people see these free man on the land videos, they don't understand, and they think that the guy in the car is just being a dickhead. He's just like, no, I don't understand, because they don't comprehend why he's saying that. They think he's just being awkward. They don't understand it's actually a legal. It's like a battle of words going on, right? And
so the police don't even know it half the time either. Do you think?
For the most part, I guess they don't recognize that there's like this hidden thing. But so then you think, well, it must not be true. If the police aren't acknowledging it, it's not like that, because the police don't acknowledge that. If you're filming them, they come up to you and they say, you can't do that, you know, and you'll argue with them and tell them, I'm on a public street, I can film wherever the fuck I want. Yeah. And they will argue with you. They'll threaten you. They'll be aggressive. Then they call their manager, their sergeant, right? Their manager. But it's a business. It's a fucking business. We'll go into that in a bit. Oh, but so then they'll call their gaffer, right? And then they'll get back to them. No, we've looked at. It's actually not. Like they can film you. They do have the right. Yeah. And the police, you just see them, because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They just walk away. Like they don't like being told they're wrong, because they're an authority as well. Yeah, that's it. And there's that power trip as well that comes with it. But no, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of them, and this is what I'm saying, I started talking to them to ask them about this stuff. I was saying to them, I've seen these videos on YouTube, I've read up on this stuff. Is there any truth to this? Like, and they're telling me, no, yeah, there's common law and there's case law. There's like the different ones. They are 2 different laws. And then when you think, so this is what I was going to say, which I kind of got sidetracked on. These are not laws. These Maritime Admiralty, which we call them laws, they're not laws. They're statutes, right? And if you look into the definition of it in Black's Law, it says that a statute is a legal a legal standing or whatever that says I forgot the thing now.
You're doing so well, Sam.
It is a legal thing. But the thing is, it's given the force of a law. It's not law. It's given the force of law to the consent of the governed, right? So in order for this, which is not a law, to be given the same value as a real law, as a common law, as a natural law, it has to be brought about by consent. Right.
So you have to agree to it.
And this is why you can't then say you understand, because then you're agreeing to their jurisdiction, taking authority over you. So it has to be consented upon. Right.
You're easing men nicely to this, Sam.
What's that?
You're easing men nicely to this.
Right. Okay.
I'm in my comfort zone still.
So I mean, that's the thing. It's a complicated thing, and it's hard to think of what's the right way to go about trying to explain it to someone. So yeah, it has to be a consent thing. Now the other thing as well is people don't know about. If I didn't consent, I didn't know about it. Well, the thing is, you didn't have to know about it because if you admit to being a person in legalese, you're admitting to being. This is where it gets crazy. An employee of a corporation. Right, the corporation happens to be the United Kingdom,
right,
and with a birth certificate you are legally or
part of it.
Legally is the right word here. You're legally an employee of the corporation United Kingdom with your birth certificate. And that's why you're given like an employee number and all that.
So if they say to you like, do you understand? You say no, but then they're like, what is your name? Can you say like, I don't have a name?
So your name is part of, that's right, your person, right, is in Black's Law Dictionary, person, they define it as being a legal fiction. Now this is, I'm not making this up, it's a legal fiction, right? That's what your person is. And what it is you represent your person, your legal fiction, through having a unique a first name and a last name. Now first names and last names are what is given to persons. Okay, human beings don't have
names.
Legal first name. My suffix, I'm a Mr. They don't have that. It's just I'm Sam.
It's just a legal thing.
Yeah. So they say like, if you what's your dad's name? John. So you, instead of being Paul Quigley, you would be Paul, son of John, of the Quigley family, the Quigley clan.
Like your man in the van. That's what he was saying.
That's probably what he said, yeah. So if you say that, you're establishing your jurisdiction, and you're saying, I'm not adhering to maritime admiralty law jurisdiction, I'm adhering to common law jurisdiction. And within this jurisdiction, I can do whatever the fuck I want, pretty much. As long as you're not hurting someone else. And this is why all the videos are of them in a van or in cars or driving, because this is a whole other part to it. The thing is, if I'm walking down the street with a beer, I'm not hurting anyone else.
No.
Right? If I'm in a vehicle going down the road, right, I'm not hurting anyone else. I have the potential to hurt someone else, but I've not done it yet. Right? So that under common law is not illegal. Now this is when they introduce the wordplay again, right? And then they say, well, driving, right, is now in Black's Law Dictionary, driving is a legal word, right, for using a motor vehicle for commerce.
I know where you're going with this.
So if you're using it in order to try and get money, you're engaging the business world. So therefore, driving is related to the business world. You're using this vehicle for the purpose of commerce. So therefore, you have to adhere to the business regulations, the laws,
like being insured, having a driving license, having road tax, all
that stuff. But the thing is, this is why you'll get them as well saying, "I'm not driving, I'm traveling," and they're not trying to be smartasses. They're engaged in a legal word battle, and the thing is, if they say they're not driving, right, which means they don't have to adhere to the Road Safety Traffic Act or anything like that. They're traveling.
They're traveling,
which also makes you think of travellers, things like that. It's not. It's the completely separate things. So yeah, you can say you're traveling, and you can go wherever you want. In a vehicle. And there might be some wordplay with vehicle. I've heard some people say you shouldn't call it is it an automobile? You shouldn't call it, or there's one of them that you shouldn't. A transport vessel. I've heard people saying, "I'm traveling in a transport vessel," and that's your legal wordplay to get around, adhering to.
So like if they I got done with driving without insurance ages ago, but if they pulled me over and say you're driving without insurance, I should say I'm not driving. I am merely travelling.
Well, first thing they'd say license and registration. Then you'd have to say I don't need one. Because you have to get into the mental framework of now. I'm not in this. You're playing fucking World of Warcraft, right? these police are playing this game, right? They're having this game with all these rules, and you're just like, I'm not actually playing your game. I'm not involved.
Yeah.
That guy there, I think he's playing. Go bother him.
Yeah.
Like I'm travelling down the road, right?
Mhm.
You know. So that's what it's like. You have to then step outside, and it's really difficult to do because you're so fucking.
And they put a lot of pressure on you, like they question it a lot, and they don't agree with you, and they give you a lot of hassle for it.
And the problem is, a lot of them just don't know.
They
So
don't
they'll
know.
detain you. They'll
Yeah.
they'll tell you that, and you know you
So
have
you
to.
you really, if you're going to go with it, you really need to know it inside out.
Yeah, because you don't want to fuck up and say the wrong thing and then have that used against you
Mhm.
and all that stuff. And then, of course, going to court is a whole other thing as well, because if you're in court and there's all these, I mean, it's a lot to learn. There's all these types of wordplay stuff.
Mhm.
So if they tell you, all rise, if you stand up,
You're conforming to their rules as well.
yeah, you're giving up power
Mhm.
because you're doing what he says, kind of thing. So like you're throwing the power back over to him. The ball's in his court, kind of thing.
Mhm.
Whereas if you don't rise, and they'll get really annoyed. There's nothing they can do.
Mhm.
And if they stand up and walk out, there's a video on YouTube where a guy seizes the court, and he says, "I'm going to take the court. The judge has abandoned ship." Right, and this is as well because it all goes back to when they began to trade with
Yeah.
other countries. So all the court stuff is what's the word for it? An allegory, or it's not.
They talk about it in terms of a boat.
Yeah, it's like it's symbolic's not the right word, but it's you
Mhm.
have the dock and whatever, right?
Mhm.
And it's all about being on a ship.
Mhm.
Right, and that's where all the terminology comes from, because
Yeah.
this is when it was invented from maritime admiralty law.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of brunt of it. I'm just going to quickly.
Just quickly, Sammy.
Oh yeah, because we're
No,
running
no, I
over.
was just meaning in terms of like just quickly because you fucking wound us out, but like you needed to, like I'm
Yeah,
not
that's
knocking
what
you.
I'm saying. This is why I almost wanted to dedicate a whole episode to
Oh
it,
fuck.
because it is a long thing. But like, if
Aye.
anyone wants to talk about it,
iPhone, and I find it is interesting.
but
I
I'll
think
just
it
say
is
it
interesting.
actually comes. Well, it doesn't come from. The information started creeping out from a guy called Robert Menard,
Right, I know that name for some reason.
who actually invited me on his radio show.
Ooh.
So, thanks, Robert. I don't think I'll be able to teach you anything about common law, though. But this guy like knows all this stuff, and he has a video. I don't know when it came out. Actually, I think it was quite a while ago. But
Mhm.
he has a video. If anybody's interested in this stuff, if you're not, and you just want me to shut the fuck up and move on, just bear with me 2 minutes here. if you're interested in this stuff at all, guy called Robert Menard did a video way back called "Bursting Bubbles of Government Deception."
Mhm.
That's your first video. Now the thing is, he's a Canadian guy.
Right. Wait a minute. Sorry, Sam.
You
Keep
know-
going.
oh, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just
got
going to
the
write
links
that
right.
down.
So the thing is, he's a Canadian guy, and because they're still under
Sorry.
British rule and everything like that, this it's the exact same thing. It still applies in the exact same way. But sometimes I think if you watch it, you might think, oh well, is that a Canadian thing? Maybe it doesn't really apply over here. So if you're interested in finding out more about this from the perspective of someone in the UK, John Harris is
Still writing perception, Sam.
deception,
Right, keep going.
government deception,
Oh, perception. I've wrote perception, deception.
deception,
Fucking
busting
hell.
bubbles
It's
of
like
government
it's like
deception.
inception.
And sheepshin. So yeah, John Harris has, I think he's got 2 sort of lectures, and I think they're lectures.
Mhm.
I think they're called "It's an Illusion" 1 and 2. Now the thing is, you might watch it and think this is complete bullshit. If you do think that, I completely understand why you would think like that, because that's how it feels when you're watching it. It feels like this isn't real. And you know what? If it's not real, and if you know that it's not, if you know this is all shit, and you think that I'm sort of promoting some sort of propaganda or telling people stuff that isn't true or anything, phone in and tell, because I don't know. I mean, I'm not 100% set on anything. This
We
is
here
just
to
stuff.
learn as well.
Yeah, this is just stuff that I've looked up on, thought it was very interesting. Have to some degree used it. I'm not going to go into that though. But no, it's very interesting stuff, and there's a whole other element to this as well. If you're in debt, if you're in any kind of money problems,
We could talk about that with Chip next week.
yeah,
Or whenever
yeah.
he comes on, if he's wanting to come on.
But there's another website as well about that. I can't remember the link though to that one.
Well, we'll look it up after.
But there's people that are in loads of money problems, loads of debt, that are then saying because I'm not now adhering to, or it's my person is the legal fiction which owes this money. I, the human being, don't owe that money.
Yep.
So I'm going to have it legally and lawfully discarded.
Mm-hmm.
Have it not assigned to me, or have the emphasis be on them to prove that the money exists and all that stuff. So that's a whole other conversation.
For another day.
I'm probably going to watch this back and think, oh, I didn't say this, but as I said, I haven't really prepared for this, so I apologise if there's not something that you wanted me to say that I haven't said. I did my best, given
his best, Chip.
Given the thing.
So,
but,
right, what I was writing down there, Sam, is just to say, I was writing down, we talk a lot about links and things that we look at, particularly last week we watched a lot of videos, so I'm going to now tweet links at the end of the show, or at some point anyway. So if you want the links, look at our Twitter. It's Chairman OT Board on Twitter. That's Chairman OT Board and the hashtag Fat Jars. I think that was the sound of Skype opening up, Sam, was it?
Yeah, we're on Skype,
so the phone lines are open.
I don't know if we've had any. I can't think. We've had a few friend requests anyway,
so that's good.
But it is. We are able to take calls, aren't we?
I think so. Are these cameras still pointing at us, Sam, by the way?
Let's just double check, because that. Oh shit, the wrong one.
It's the wrong one. They're still alright.
Yeah, we're good to go.
My hair looks alright.
So yeah, I mean, you thought this might end up being a boring podcast. I hope that wasn't boring.
I think this has been good so far. I think we've had a good wee flow.
Yeah.
I was going to say repertoire, but I don't think that's the right word.
Rapport.
That's the one, Sam.
So what else? I'm quite pleased with how it's going. I think it's I'm really excited about this podcast. I think it's a really good.
I'm enjoying it as well.
Show.
I think it'll be good. Do you know when? Sorry, I'm trying to fucking do it. Oh Jesus Christ!
Oh yeah, where's my one, dude?
I'm making a beer can junket down here, Sam.
You'll have to repeat that because you didn't say anything to the microphone.
I said I was making a beer can junket down there. I'm total tinkering about. What was I going to say? Oh no, I think it'll be good when this gets. I'm amazed by the support we've had with this, like the views and stuff like that.
I'm going to say as well, because there's a 20-second delay. If you want to phone now. Lines are open.
When you phone.
Oh yeah.
YouTube.
Please fucking mute your volume, because it'll echo through the. And
it goes crazy because there's a delay yours. So
who was that clown phoning in last week that fucked everything up?
Ryan Green, #1 fan. Ryan Green's not been that active on the. I had a couple of Facebook things, Sam. Do you want me to tell you? Well, they're all kind of conversation starters. Well, I've just had a message saying he is right. What that refers to, I don't know. I do not know, but you are right, Sam. Let's see what else communication I've had. I've had something on Facebook here. I think for Stuart Cook, but likes it. Stuart Cook would enjoy that driving stuff. He's a driver. Drives a car. He's like a delivery man or something.
He's a driver. He would have enjoyed all that.
Fucking love going.
That's my new target audience. Drivers.
Oh Jesus, I've got phone notifications. I didn't know where they're all coming from. See, because I've got my Facebook. Right, my Facebook is linked up with the chairman of the board Facebook.
Right? Right, yeah.
But then I've got the chairman of the board has got his own Facebook, so I'm getting notifications for everywhere. Michael Curley just commented.
Oh no, I bet he didn't like the Scottish Independence stuff.
Oh no, Hazel Curley just said, Michael Curley, you're famous. They answered your question, and he said that he'd listen tomorrow morning. So thanks very much, Curley.
Was it not even?
He didn't even. Well,
I was expecting a phone in and everything.
Michael McPherson posted a photo to us, and it's "We will take your farts. We just won't open them." Look at that. He sent us a image.
Oh my god.
Oh, Michael McPherson. If we get a fart in a jar for you.
Okay, that's going in at the intro as well. We're going to do a wee
fart in a jar.
All the different images.
Aye, I like people putting something in, so I've just shared that on the Facebook.
It fucking is like Blue Peter now, isn't it?
10 viewers as well. We were at 10 just now, so that's good. So we've got 10 viewers. We're waiting on a live caller.
I was supposed to tell them that, Paul. Keep up
the illusion. They can see it though.
Yeah, but the people watching this back won't know. They'll be like, oh, maybe hundreds of people were watching that. That was our sound effect for someone coming in.
That sounds like Craigie Denholm.
It is.
Craigie Denholm. I seem to remember that you did a mean Geordie accent. Give us a blast.
Well, man, I stay down here, like.
Oh man, I cannot believe it. Tell Sam about the story you got on the bus.
What, didn't take the bus?
David, take the bus, man. Tell Sam the story and the viewers.
Well,
it would take me too long, man. I haven't got on, like.
He told me the story. Craig is the old butcher at my work, and he told me a story about, what was it, you're getting on a bus one time, Craig?
I was going to a rave.
You were going to a rave back in the day when he did all kinds of normal drugs, and then you got on a bus and you asked to go somewhere and stood.
No. We were standing like we didn't even know we were. A place called Springwell or something.
Right.
Trying to find a resurrection club, which was a spin-off of the big 12-hour all-night raves at Ingliston. And we were talking to these guys. Sorry, I meant to say 12-hour all-nighter.
Oh, right.
I did do one 24-hour rave, Thunderdome it was called. But
Thunderdome.
That's a whole different story.
I've actually never been to a rave.
I think it'd be great fun.
Man, it's amazing.
Maybe we should go and then talk about it on a podcast.
Maybe.
Definitely.
If anybody knows about a legal rave, let us know.
A legal rave?
Illegal.
Illegal raves are even better, man.
Yeah.
What's the difference? Why is one illegal?
Well,
because the legal ones got like bouncers all standing about, stopping you having fun and taking your drugs off you. And the illegal ones, it's like, well, hey, let's party. Who's got what? And let's take it. And
I get you.
You know what I'm saying?
take it and bone.
Yeah.
Boning going on.
Okay, go on.
But yeah, well, we just asked these group of guys like how you got to the rave, and they were like, "Didn't take the bus, man."
David, take the bus.
We never found out why. We got a taxi and it ended up costing us about 20 quid each, and there was 5 of us. So
you would have been better taking the bus, Craig.
It would have been a lot better taking the bus.
David, so that
was man.
That was a running joke when I'd got to Craig, and then we'd say something. He's like, "Where are you going?" And we'd tell him, and he'd go, "David, take the bus, man."
What's his? He's saying he didn't take the bus.
Didn't take the bus.
Devon means don't.
Devon.
Okay.
David, take the bus, man.
It's like a whole other language.
It's Geordie. Is it Geordie, Craig? Is it?
It's actually Mackham. It's Sunderland.
The Mackhams and Tackhams.
Aye, which is just where I live now.
Have you heard about the Mackhams and Tackhams, Sam?
I haven't. I don't know where that is.
One make the ship. What is it? The Mackhams made the ships.
Sunderland folk make the ships, and the Newcastle folk tack them away in.
We mack them and they tick them. The Mackhams and Tackhams.
Okay.
Was there no something to do with a monkey as well, Craig? One of them killed a monkey.
No, that was down the road where they hung a monkey. They thought it was a German spy. Hartlepool. They still call them the monkey hangers to this day. In the First World War, they captured a German boat and they hung the monkey that we had on it. I don't know why they had a monkey on the boat. I really don't want to know what the sailors were doing to it. But they hung it thinking it was a spy.
Well, maybe it was. Maybe it was a spy.
Right? Could it be? You know.
No, when I think was it who brought up the monkey?
I mentioned a monkey.
You mentioned when you said it. I thought, I wonder where this joke's going. But no, that's a real story. You tell me that's a real story.
That's a real
people that caught a monkey, and then it's like all football and that. So then they called the other football team like monkey hangers because they killed a monkey. And the Mackhams and Tackhams, and the Mackhams hate the Tackhams, Craig?
Oh, it's worse than Celtic and Rangers, man. Honestly,
it's mental. Mackhams and Tackhams.
It's serious. See when it's a match day with Newcastle, man. It's loudy, man. It's mental.
So you're against Newcastle?
Are you a Mackham or a Tackham?
I have to be. I'm a Mackham, man.
Yeah.
I'd get lynched.
I've got an interesting story about Newcastle actually.
Aye.
I don't know if it's fell through or whatever, but there was an article. Apparently, Vince McMahon is wanting to buy Newcastle.
The team.
Yeah.
And
you went to town.
No.
I did as well for a split second. What do you want to do that for?
He's buying all the houses one after the other.
Oh no, man! Vince McMahon, man.
No, I didn't read into it too much. I just saw Vince McMahon's looking to buy Newcastle.
What about that idiot that bought it and that bought Newcastle Football club and changed the name of their stadium. I can't remember what it was. It was something ridiculous. Like
was it not
Soccer Stadium or something?
Did he? Oh, was it not like an advertisement name or something?
Aye,
like
it
that?
was. Aye, it was something like Sports Soccer Stadium. No,
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Was that not like Old Trafford? Is that not what their team was? Oh my god.
That's Old Trafford's Man United, man.
How do they speak there, Craig?
Madfritz, like.
Madfritz? Oh, I come to the oasis. The
that's
sunshine.
Isn't it funny how we can like do voices of like people from different, we do their accent, but it's all right because they're white.
Aye, but
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
but it would be alright to do an accent of somebody that you knew, but not generalising.
Aye, I think so to a degree.
yeah, but then like on here, like on the podcast, they would know that we knew that person.
That's true.
Now I don't know anyone
I
from.
mean, like if we were like, say we were to do a Pakistani accent,
Yeah.
but we weren't doing a general Pakistani accent, which would be deemed as sort of racistly.
Yeah.
But we were doing a particular person. I can't think of any famous.
I can think of a I'm not going to go there. What about Sadia, Craig?
Aye, Sadia.
Sadia was very enthusiastic. Aye, she did. Ooh, Mercedes Benz! She said one time.
I have no idea who that is.
Oh, she's just a lass I used to work with. She was working to the fucking moon, Sam.
All right.
Just a little bit.
No, I was going to say like you were saying there about if you knew a friend that it was like Pakistani, it's all right to then.
Yeah, it's like to take the mickey out of the way that person speaks, but not to generalise it and take the mickey out of the actual entire nation.
Yeah, it's a weird one with race because like I'd probably say he's my best friend, right? Is
Scottish sin across me.
now, I'm going to say what he is, right? Or what I would usually in casual conversations say that he is, but and people might get offended, but this is the point that I'm making, right?
Yeah.
Is he's half caste.
Right.
Right? Now I've said that at a party one time, right? And someone was like, you can't say that, you can't say half caste.
Why not? If that's what he is, if he's half of one thing and half of another, he's half caste.
Supposedly,
it's went nuts. It's went to the point that PC's taken over so much that you can't call a spade a spade.
Yeah, no, that's.
And I don't mean that racist spade.
the old racist, that spade down the block.
I don't. No,
that's.
I mean,
that's true. That's true. But do you know what? I didn't even know. I wasn't even aware that was a thing that people say, because I fucking learned it from him saying it.
Yeah, I didn't know that people could take offence to that.
No, I didn't either. Like, but this is what I'm saying. So I would hear him say like, oh well, people would say this, and no, it's probably because I'm half caste. Or whatever. He'd be in conversation, and he would use that term.
Yeah.
And so that's the term that I would use if not that I'm going around. I've got a half caste, right? Like
Aye.
But if it ever came up, I would use that. But I was at a party one time. And this fucking, I think it was a girl, went off at me.
Aye.
Like you can't say that. That's horrible. And I'm like, what
people are needing to get down off their high horses, honestly. I mean, there's a certain degree that you can go in and go, right, fair enough, that's disrespectful to say this, or it's disrespectful to say that. But then there's they're like, come on. No, I mean, it wasn't meant in that.
Well, that's the thing. It's all about context.
Yeah.
And because I don't know, like you can call your friend a fucking asshole, but if you do it in the right way, it's not.
Yeah.
You can tell it's a joke.
It's a term of endearment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, but that's what annoys me though, because like the fact that they're whenever they make it a law, or we're going to go back into talking about laws and all that stuff, but whenever you can get in trouble for words, I mean, I don't know. I don't think we should try.
If you're using your language in a threatening manner, fair enough. You know what I mean? To the point that you're making somebody frightened that you're going to lob them one or whatever. If you're being abusive and derogatory, fair enough. Yeah, that's wrong. But like just having a crack with somebody and saying a word here and there, it's a word. You know what I mean? It's not going to do anything. You know what I mean? What I think's wrong is like how we nowadays are punished for our forefathers actions. Know what I mean? And that's what it's all about. It's how the slavers and all that. We're still meant to feel some sort of shame for what they done a couple of 100 years ago or more, and we're still living in the shadow of that. Know what I mean? It's craziness.
Yeah. There's a statistic on it, and I can't remember which way it falls, but there's something like it's either a large portion of. Yeah, I think this is the right. I'm trying to think of what direction the coin falls on. I think it's this one because it was a while ago I read it. But there's a large portion of African American. I was going to say African American black people. You don't need to add the black people. You say African American. African Americans whose ancestors were white.
Oh, right.
You know, and it's just from
the plantations and
and you think,
I mean, Creole women were sought after. You know what I mean? Like half caste. You know what I mean? Women were sought after back in the day.
Yeah. But not just white. Sorry, I'll go on to say not just white, but they've traced it. And a large portion of them. I don't know. I'm not going to throw out a number because I don't know what it is, and it possibly could even be a majority of African Americans today.
I could believe that. Yeah.
Their ancestors were not only white slave owners.
Oh my God.
And so this is this this shame that that's sort of forced upon us, or this guilt. I think it's guilt. It's funny when you look into like if
the actual
you think about if that's true, if that's true and how it all pans out, it's kind of funny to think about it that way. Like,
that's crazy.
We're all you're right. We shouldn't hold any sort of burden for anything that someone else has done.
No,
definitely not.
It'd be like if your dad went off and raped someone, and then and it does happen where then the kids they live their life.
I watched a very interesting program documentary on the TV about I haven't. This would be one that would actually be a good topic to talk about. But there was a group of Nazis. I can't remember all the names.
Craig, you just said the N-word. Nazis, I love the old Nazis.
You dropped that N-bomb.
Oh, I love an old Nazi story, Craig.
What they done is they were trying to get a group of perfect Aryan children, and it didn't matter where they got them for. Like they had.
You're going down the Nazi. Craig, are you going down the Nazi experimentation route?
No, it wasn't experimentation
at all.
It was Natch. No, I mean if the SS division was out and they were under orders, if they seen an Aryan kid of a certain age, whip them. Don't wipe them out. Don't leave them. Whip them and take them. And they got back to this group, and it has a name. Also, there was sort of prostitute-y women who were there for the SS command and to have sex with. Know what I mean? And their children were obviously deemed Aryan straight away because they were off that the Nazi stock. Know what I mean? What they wanted.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, one of these
that divine
children,
bloodline, like right.
Yeah, one of these children. Well, after the war, they were all split up and went here, there, and everywhere. And one of these children started questioning, "Who's my dad?" It's obviously this isn't my dad, and he found out that his father was actually a high-ranking SS general. Know what I mean? One of the top guys to Hitler.
Yeah.
And the documentary was about him going and seeing what his dad done, and it really shouldered the guilt. I mean, he went and visited people whose dad had executed.
Yeah.
Know what I mean? And wiped out, and he was crying and sobbing. And I was watching it in a bit of disbelief, going, "Wait, what are you sobbing for?"
Yeah. No, you're right.
But he could not handle this. He took this old woman who was Jewish, and they went to this area. The woman took him to this place, and it was a mound, and there was thousands of Jewish bodies in there, and they were all in there because of his dad, and her father was amongst them. And she was holding him up while he cried on her shoulder and begged forgiveness. Like, that wasn't your guilt to beg forgiveness for.
Yeah, that's right.
But I don't know, it's beyond me. Maybe you would have to be in that position to go, my God, that blood's flowing through my veins. It would make you feel different. I don't know, but
it's hard to know.
Mind-boggling, you know.
Yeah, It's weird though that we do have sort of, maybe it's something to do with having empathy and we see ourselves in other people.
Yeah.
But if you know, you're trying to see your actions of your dad, you feel like it's closer to you and all that stuff, but it shouldn't. We should be. It's other people's baggage.
Yeah, you know what I mean. We shouldn't be shouldering anything past it.
Not at all.
But you do, don't you? Mud sticks. No, I mean,
you will get like, you know, if someone goes off and kills someone, the parents of that kid will apologise to the victims and stuff like that. Yeah, I can slightly understand that because they're taking responsibility for the way he came out and all that stuff.
The way they brought him up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I can maybe see a parent feeling responsible for a child's action,
but the reverse.
Not a child feeling responsible for the parents.
Imagine the parent goes off and like kills someone, and the child is there going door to door to the families. I'm so sorry, like, you know.
Yeah.
I know, I agree.
Strange one. Well,
do you know the name of the documentary, just for anyone who's...
I do not. It was...
Nazi Baggage, if you type that in.
Nazi Baggage.
that should be the name of it, shouldn't it?
The name of the documentary was the name of this group of children and women that were... I can't remember, it was like the... Housing children or something. That wasn't the word. That was just completely made up. You know what I mean? But
it sounded genuine, Craig.
The Van Housens.
Van Housen.
Van Housen.
But that was the name of the. Oh, I know what it is. It's on what do you call that rip-off thing that you pay for? Netflix. It's on Netflix. If you look up documentaries and then start looking into the Nazi stuff, you'll see it.
Right, Craig. Well, if I give you the job of finding out what it's called, will you let us know?
Definitely.
Or just even post it on the Facebook page or something.
Yeah, man. Do that.
Just so that people can find it.
Yeah, cool. Right, I phoned up today because I was going to phone up about it anyway, but like we've got some bad news. As Vapours, I'm a vapor. I quit smoking last July. I haven't had a cigarette since, but I took up vaping.
Yes.
And today the European Parliament ruled that it's to be legislated in such a way that they're taking our freedom away from us, basically.
I saw something about that.
It's not good. See, the trouble is the government are shitting themselves because every smoker that stops, that's £50 at least a week in taxes. Also, and this is the scary part, it's cost efficient to have somebody die of a smoke-related illness,
right?
Because of the medical and pharmaceutical companies that get involved and money that's to made of that, as there is to have somebody dying of old age. It costs more. Know what I mean? Which is good for the pharmaceutical companies. I mean, e-cigarettes are scientifically proven to be less harmful than smoking tobacco products. E-cigarettes contain 4 different substances: nicotine, 2 forms of glycerine, and flavourings. There's over 4,000 ingredients in a cigarette, many of them cancerogens, and the nicotine in a cigarette's more addictive.
I wish we were this informed, Craig, about our topics.
In an e-cigarette. So they're starting to clamp down on vaping. I've noticed on my bus they've got a sign up, no vaping, and I agree with that. I don't think I should be allowed to sit there and puff my vapour all over non-vapors. Know what I mean?
So can you affect someone through second-hand vapour?
It's I was actually watching a programme about that tonight online. The amount of nicotine through passive vaping is nothing, absolutely nothing. You would need to be in a room of vapour for 24 hours, breathing it in constantly, to have the same amount of passive vaping nicotine as you would for half a draw of cigarette standing next to somebody. Know what I mean?
So what about the bus thing then? Because I understand not smoking on the bus.
They've banned it, and I can see that. You want to be sitting on the bus and have clouds, whatever it is, going past you, whether it smells sweet or not. You didn't want that. When you think about what it is, it's somebody's breath, effectively. So I agree with that. I agree with that. Know what I mean? There's another silly thing to do with the vaping. Like, you go to the chemist and you want to stop smoking, and they'll say, right, try these patches, try this mist spray, try this. They've got an 80% fail rate. Know what I mean? Vaping's got a much higher success rate. I mean, I think I don't know the actual figure for it, but it's a hell of a lot better than a 20% rate. Know what I mean? That you get off of the patches and such like.
So they're sort of going down the road of what's profitable.
That's all it's about. It's about taxation. It's about the big the big cigarette tobacco companies losing money, and it's about the pharmaceutical companies losing money. Know what I mean?
Aye, and more people are going to it, Craig, as well. You see them pop up all the time. These vaping, like so see the vaping ones. Is that like the cigarettes with the kind of like the glass kind of oil canister thing in them?
Yeah, well, there's lots of different kinds. You've got your cigar-likes, which look like cigarettes, except they've got a blue glow at the end.
Aye.
So is that different from the?
Aye, because they're like electronic. But like I heard some debate the other day, Craig.
Electronic.
I don't know if you would maybe know about this, but I heard something about like that they're like the oils that are in these vaping cigarettes is like they're not sure what's in the oils, and they're worried that could be now harmless. But I don't know if that's like a government kind of ploy to like
tactic.
Is it a scare tactic?
It needs research. There's not been enough research done on the subject. It's under research at the moment, but as everything else, it costs money, and the money's no there. The government need to do it. We're as vapors, we're all for it. We want it researched. We want to know what we're inhaling. But as far as several top scientists say, it's a lot less harmful than actually smoking a cigarette. I mean, there's like just what you're saying, like cigarettes, e-cigarettes can contain dangerous chemicals. Like all liquids, even your water, contains traces of dangerous chemicals. Not
this is what I was going to say. This point I was going to make.
Like medically approved stuff as well. Know what I mean?
Well, look, even it's all about moderation for the most part. Anyway, just about everything can hurt you. Like
in excess,
bananas. But if you eat too many fucking bananas,
10 is the number, Sam.
You'll get potassium poisoning.
Potassium, that's right.
Like just about I mean, but that doesn't mean you ban all bananas and all that stuff. So there's that argument as well. So I don't know. I mean, how much responsibility do we give people to sort of make their own choices? You know?
Exactly. Well, what they've done today is they've effectively said that refillables, they're trying to get rid of refillables, and they're trying to get rid of DIY mixing kits, which is what I do. I buy a big bottle of nicotine in at the highest strength that's legal without a license, toxic chemical license.
That sounds dangerous.
It does sound very dangerous.
How long does that do you for? What's the size and everything?
Well, I buy a 500 milliliter bottle of.
So that's as big as like a bottle of cola.
Yeah, well, 500ml bottle of cola is,
I know my size of the books, Craigie.
Of just.
And that's 7.4% nicotine.
Craig, my bills have got the better of me this week.
Alright.
Like, keep going. I don't feel bad now because there's somebody here.
Yeah. he needs to stop doing this.
He's running to the loo, is he?
He is, yeah.
He should have that sussed before the show, man.
I know.
Unprofessional.
I told him. He is, but yeah, go on. So you buy this.
So
how much does that cost you?
Well, I got a really good offer, a really good deal on the bottle, so I bought 2 of them because it was so good. I paid £40 for the big bottle. It would normally be a lot more than that. It would normally be more like £100 for that size of bottle.
Well, even
that strength.
Think about it in terms of how many. Say you were buying cigarettes. How many cigarettes would it take to match that? How much would that cost you? You know,
a week smoking, and you would have that paid for, and bought some of your flavourings as well. Now that's only the nicotine. It's suspended in vegetable glycerine, and what I do is I take out a certain amount. I make it up to 18 milligram strength once it's mixed. It's an 18 milligram strength juice I vape. I add my own PG and my own VG, which are both 2 different kinds of glycerine. One gives you the sort of throat feeling that you get off a cigarette, and the other one gives you the vapour. Know what I mean? The vapour production.
Right.
And I add in whatever flavourings I'm fancying. I've got honestly, the bottom of my fridge is full of different flavourings.
So so when you say flavourings, because I know with cigarettes you get like menthol and stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's about it. You get your different brands of cigarettes.
You don't get like chocolate or raspberry or.
You get it all, mate. I've even
man.
Sunday dinner flavoured vape. No, I mean Marmite flavour. I've seen it all. Honestly, some of it just repulses me.
I was going to say, who's going to buy the Marmite flavoured one?
They must sell. No, I mean somebody must buy them.
So.
My favourite vapour. Can you remember a sweetie called Swedish Fish? They're like little fishy shaped.
With the crackers. Oh no, they're like gummy things.
I don't remember.
Gummy, like gum, like fruit flavoured gums.
Right, I don't remember them.
That's what I vape. Swedish Fish flavour. And I make it up myself. It's basically a mix of orange, cherry, lemon, and lime, with a wee tweak of this and that in there. And that's basically my all-day vape. I sometimes try other things.
Vape. So how do you make? Do you need to order these flavours yourself? Or
yeah.
Right, okay. Because I must have been, but I didn't know if you were making them yourself or something, Craig, boiling shit down.
No. I buy all them ready-made. There's various different companies with various different quality of flavourings.
Can I ask you this, right? Because I'm wondering now, because like people smoke, I think for it relieves stress.
Yeah.
Do you think there's something almost like therapeutic about the process of? Because I have a friend who smokes weed, and they refuse to, like, you know, because I said to him, why don't you just roll a bunch and then you'll always have them? He refused to.
Like the whole routine of it.
It's the ritual. It's
the
ritual. I used to smoke rakes of weed. No, I mean, and that was part of it. No, I mean, it was like sitting down with my skins and chilling out, a cup of coffee. And,
So do you feel like that with the vapor thing, when you're setting it all up and putting it all together? There's something just.
Yeah, well, I've only covered the mixing side of things. I mean, I buy the tanks that contain that you vape from. They're called atomizers. They call them Atties for short. And you get all loads of different kinds. You get ones that are disposable. You fill them up a couple of times, they become done, and you put them in the bucket. And then they bring out ones that you could actually take apart and renew the wick and atomizer inside it, which is basically just a coil.
So do you have like a vaporizer, like you see these like people smoke weed through a vaporizer?
You can do that as well, can you not, Craig?
Very similar. Yeah, you can. It's very similar to
I think they do that a lot in America, like all these.
I think it's kind of getting a big thing because I suppose it's a lot.
I mean, it's a lot of money in it. I mean, see, the electronic cigarette, the level I vape it, consists of two parts. You've got your atomizer, your Atty, and you've got your battery mod, which is the bit that's your power device. And the style of them really vary. I mean, and the price of them too. I mean, I've got a Nemesis. It's called a Nemesis stainless steel mod.
It sounds like a big. It sounds like an expensive one.
Sounds like a biggie, Craig.
It is a biggie. It's about £120, and that's just the battery part of it. Know what I mean? On top of it, I've got a K-Fun Light, which is a beautiful tank. Delivers a really nice vape.
It sounds like the way folk talk about modifying cars and stuff like that, Craig. It's quite funny.
Yeah.
Like I said this to my pal one time. It's like on my other podcast, we did a thing and we're like, he was talking about fingerboards, like skateboarding, right? And so this came about that there's this whole underground world of people that are mentally into fingerboarding, and it's just like something you don't even think twice about.
What it is? Do you know that's the thing about people can get addicted to just about fucking anything.
But it's fascinating as well, because fingerboarding, you just think it's just a shitty thing you can get out of fucking whatever. But people are mad into it, and then it's just the same as this. Like, you know about like all the good names and like the good brands and stuff. It's crazy.
I have to ask.
I love that about things.
I have to ask you something.
It's getting bigger all the time. It's really taking off.
I don't know if you had finished your point, but I wanted to just jump in and ask you about. There was an article, you must have seen it. It was like 3 or 4 weeks ago. It wasn't too long ago.
Wasn't the Daily Mail, was it?
I think, was it the Daily Mail? It was anti-e-cig propaganda paper out there, right? Well, it maybe was then. It was about the girl that was supposedly the first person ever to die from smoking weed.
Oh, I've seen that as well.
From smoking weed?
Yeah.
No, I never. No.
Yeah.
Never heard of that.
I never looked into it because I just thought it was kind of bullshit.
I'm not a fucking doctor.
It sounds like a Sunday sport sort of headline to me, like.
Yeah, well, actually, the page that it was on a few different things. The page I remember seeing it on, like the front page of, was the Metro, which is like the free paper you get on the bus. And like I say, I should start off every sentence with, I'm not a doctor, but like, come
How
on.
do you
Like,
die of smoking
the
weed?
first person ever to die of smoking weed, we just happened to find out about.
I know. When people have been smoking weed from way back.
The thing is, maybe she was born. Like, look, I'm gonna go ahead and just give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's imagine for a second that this is a true story. What does that mean then? I'll tell you what it means. It means that the rate of the
You're getting fucking up on your high horse a bit. What does that mean? I'll tell you.
I'll fucking tell you what it means. But it means that the deaths of weed. That means the percentages of deaths per,
How many people have died of alcohol poisoning in that same time scale?
So,
billions.
So it puts
millions.
It puts the percentage now on paper with the rest of things that you can die from, right?
Yeah.
Let's see if it's true. Let's see if it does
exactly
that.
what you're saying.
But the percent, when you comparison, how many people die a year from drinking alcohol? It'll have the however many thousands. How many people die a year from weed? 0.00000. Like,
think
if
of all the other things that people die of that's really strange and weird. There's more of that than there is people.
Well, the thing is, if someone died from alcohol, unless they were a fucking celebrity, they're not making the front page.
No.
So the fact that someone's made the front page from, and it's probably bullshit, from supposedly dying of weed.
It must be. Did you read the article?
I did, because I made a piss take of it where I changed the marijuana bit to say peanuts, because like, when someone dies from fucking,
but people can die from peanuts.
But that's it, and it's not allergies, and it's not going to make the front page. Look how ridiculous that looks.
Unless it's a celebrity.
But
like
the fact that it has made the front page shows you just how fucking rare it is. Even if it's like, that's just saying it's true. I don't think it is true. I think it's fucking bullshit. But
I think
let's pretend that it's true. What an advertisement for weed. You want a drug that will almost ensure that you won't die? Smoke weed.
But they say that there's a lot of positives to weed as well, like in a lot of things.
There is. I mean, the big negative side to weed is it brings out psychological problems in people that have pre-existing psychological problems.
I've heard that as well.
So I think if you have skits to start with and you start smoking weed, you're going to skits out. Know what I mean?
I think if you have the shits.
Well, I'm gonna put out there, and as I said, I'm gonna start this argument again with, I'm not a doctor, right? But I've seen a thing, and so I mean, I don't know if this is true or not. I don't know how much whatever. But supposedly, I always use this fucking word. I need to stop using it. But supposedly. They found that people with schizophrenia, they sort of, weed kind of helped them, right? Years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And because weed helped them, and it was a good sort of thing of relieving the symptoms of schizophrenia, it became on the underground this big thing of, if you've got schizophrenia, smoke weed, it's good for you.
Yeah.
And then as we have these internet memes nowadays, right? So these memes go on where people get this idea that if you smoke weed, you've got schizophrenia, and then that evolves into weed gives you schizophrenia.
Okay, I see.
This was a doctor that was explaining this on a documentary, how this stigma, and it's actually been blown up. I know people that, and it's the same with like the paranoia thing. I know people that smoke weed, and they think it makes them paranoid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now I can't say that it does. I don't know, but I get the feeling that they're possibly just almost, they could even be placeboing themselves into getting paranoid because they think that's the expected result.
I've got an interesting point about smoking weed. I listen to a lot of podcasts by a guy, Kevin Smith, right? And he used to be
Kevin Smith.
Like
a guy down the road. Like,
fucking guy down the road.
Who does it? If you don't know who Kevin Smith is, I want you just to just stop watching this right now. You should know who Kevin fucking Smith is. Okay.
Right, so he just thought, well, I'm going to start smoking weed, right? And I think people see him as a bit of a stoner because of Jane Silent Bob and that, so he started smoking weed, but he gave himself this rule: every time I smoke weed, I need to be doing something productive. I need to be writing, I need to be recording a podcast, I need to be doing something. And he doesn't have any of them he still puts out movies, he still writes, he still works in that. And like, so I think it's just a state of your mind. Like, of course, if you're fucking sitting all day doing nothing, but you're going to get depressed anyway if you're sitting all day doing nothing.
Yeah, well, the thing is that this is why they have what's called double-blind trials. Whenever they study something, because the thing is, you can't, like, if you take a sugar pill and you are told this cures depression or this helps you with depression, you'll placebo yourself.
It's a placebo effect.
Even when people know that it's a sugar pill and they know that it's a placebo, it can sometimes still work. Right.
I can completely believe that.
Yeah. So, like, the placebo effect's very powerful.
Yeah.
So I think if there did evolve, like, this idea that weed, because I mean, you know, it's obviously been, there's a lot of propaganda around weed and people have said how bad it is and everything like that. If this idea gets brought about where weed is the cause of schizophrenia, paranoia, I could quite believe people would genuinely get schizophrenic or paranoid from smoking it. It would be due to a placebo, I would think.
Yeah. I used to maybe have a joint during the day and go, shit, I'm too stoned and I've got this and that to do, and I would have to just get the head down and go outside, eyes hanging out my head, like, you know, and I'd be walking down the street, the paranoia ripping out me, and I would say to myself, it's the dope, man, and it would go away. It would go away as soon as I went, oh, it's just the dope, I'm not really paranoid. It would go away, and I'd just float on and do what I had to do.
Yeah,
it was just
See, if it was the weed that was doing it to you,
it doesn't really matter if it was or not, does it?
Yeah. But the other thing as well is paranoia is a weird one, because I've had this conversation before, and people talk about weed makes them paranoid. Weed's fucking illegal. Like, you know, if you're caught with it, you know, I don't know.
You're going to be
I don't know what the punishment is, but of course you're going to be fucking paranoid. Like, you know. So there's
also the thing. Like, am I going to bump into somebody that's going to tell that I'm totally out of my tree? You know what I mean?
Aye.
Like your mum's best friend, because you're going into the town, know what I mean?
Think less of you,
and you don't want to be seen with your eyes hanging out like that, know what I mean?
No, very true.
No, I mean that could be another factor into the mix.
Definitely, and this is what I'm saying. Like, they really need to test it and do these double-blind trials where they know conclusively what the properties of weed are.
Exactly, it's all money, man. It's all money.
Yeah.
You know what I think is really promising, because what happens in the States usually ends up coming here, you know what I mean? Is they're starting to legalise it in so many states in America, and I think that's really promising. I don't smoke weed anymore. I'm a total teetotaler. I don't even drink. But I think it would be
if you could get weed easily for your vapour, would you sit and smoke it?
I wouldn't vape it. No, I would just pipe it. Know what I mean? I would never take tobacco again. No, I mean, it's something that doesn't appeal to me anymore. I've even become one of those terrible ex-smokers that walks away from folk at bus stops when they're having a fag, because I think it stinks so bad. Know what I mean? You don't realise when you're a smoker how bad you smell. Know what I mean? It's rank, you know what I mean? You'll get some attractive looking girl coming sitting close to you on the bus, and she's just stinking of fags, you know what I mean? It's horrible, man.
And the thing is as well, if you're in a situation where, let's say you had to dance with someone, kind of maybe even you didn't want to, but it was like out of politeness, right? I'm not saying that I've been in this circumstance, right? But and the person is like stinking of cigarettes, and there's this and it's this thing where you can't tell them, you know, you can't say to someone, by the way, you fucking
stinking fags.
Yeah.
But it's I suppose it's better saying that they're stinking fags rather than just saying you are fucking stinking, by the way. Like if they're just a smelly person.
No, I'd let them guess. You are fucking stinking, and he's thinking, which part?
Fags?
Which part is it?
I hope it's
like, fuck, I didn't even smoke.
Oh dear.
Okay, that's been. Oh no, we've still got about 10 minutes, I think.
Well, you want me to let you get on and wrap up and that, and I'll say good night to you.
Yeah, if you've said everything you want to say, then.
I think definitely. So. If I can think of anything over the next few weeks, I'll give you a call back.
Craig. Feel free to send us a fart in a jar.
I will do.
Please, for the love of fuck, don't anyone send us a fucking fart in a jar.
I want somebody to send us a fart in a jar.
If it gets an address, you're going to get inundated with jars.
If If you really want to send us a fart in a jar, we'll
Send
give
us
you
an
the address.
Yeah, send us an image. You can do that, but no real jars, no real farts.
Imagine if we got people to send us a farts in jars, and then we just put them in like one of them storage bins, and then one day fucking storage hunters came, and they're like, this is a fucking room full of jars, and then they're all farts in jars.
all labelled Craigie's Brew, and then the date underneath it.
They're all just from you.
And then they're like, wait a minute, there's life in these jars.
They've all evolved their own equal, and they're only equal fart systems.
Who needs these? What they call them, space monkeys or whatever you call
jars.
living in your gaseous.
Oh my god.
Oh, it doesn't bear thinking about, does it?
Alright,
Anyway.
well, thanks very much for
Thanks for
phoning
phoning
in.
in, Craig. It was great fun.
Yeah, it was a good laugh.
Feel free to phone in again, buddy.
Thank you very much. If I've got something good to talk about, I will.
Alright.
Or if I hear you talking about something that
Oh, shit, actually-
I've got to input into.
Yeah, man. Do you know what? We actually better go because I've just realised we have had some missed calls from other people.
Have we?
Oh dear, can they not phone in at the same time? I'm sure you
It
can.
must not come up. I thought it would have came up, but
Yeah.
it
Right, I'll
doesn't
go
look
off
like it.
and let you give you time to say hello to them.
Alright,
Right.
Alright,
Catch you
Craig.
later, dude.
Thanks for
See you
calling
later.
in.
Thank you. Did we get the
Bye
boss?
Don't get the bus, man.
Alright, I think these are missed calls. Anyway, wait a minute. No.
I feel there's been a lot of people trying to phone in.
There we are. Do you know what? I was just going to say I can't tell, but I think we had a missed call from a certain someone, and he's just phoned.
Oh, is it the number one fan, Sam?
I think it might be. Who's their caller? Why don't you tell us where you're from?
I'm sure I told you last week.
He did tell us last week. How's it going, Ryan? We've got another incoming call.
Not too bad.
Unfortunately, we can't take it just now. We do have 10 minutes left, so if you have a quick question, we might be able to get this guy as well.
It was something I'll let you hear. Why don't you take the other guy and then you can call me if you need me?
No, I want to keep up a theme where you have a question for us every week.
Yeah.
Right, I'll call you back, Ryan.
Ryan Green, Question Meister.
Because we've
Yo.
got...
Yo.
Hey,
Who's
Des.
this?
Now, we might have two people in at the same time. Ryan, are you still there?
No.
No,
No,
right.
wait, that was
Okay.
confusing because
Okay, so Ryan's going, how's it going, dude?
I'm alright.
right, I don't know who this is, Sam. I can't fucking see.
This is Stephen.
Is it Stephen?
I can't pronounce your second name, sir. Is it D-War? Is that right?
Stephen Dewar.
D-War.
D-War. It's...
Stefan Dewar.
I was just going to say, like, see the vapor shit, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a good thing. My mum was smoking for like 30 years and she's on the vapor shit now.
Oh,
And,
yeah?
like, she seems to be working, but like a dog ate a bottle of this shit
Oh no!
and
Right.
died.
What?
Like, you know, they come in like wee 20ml bottles for the shop. Apparently a dog ate one of them and died.
Yeah. Like,
I don't think a dog would die if it ate a cigarette, but
yeah, that's what I was going to think, though. But, I mean, it is condensing it down. Like, if a human ate that bottle, would they be alright, do you think?
well, I wouldn't even try
There's
it.
only one way to find out.
I'd sooner soak a fart in a jar, to be honest.
Aye.
Oh, yeah, Stephen, please don't send us a fart in a jar. This is,
I like how the
I'm getting worried about this now.
last 10 minutes of this podcast is just us pleading with people not to send us farts in jars.
I could, if you want. I could
No,
bring it the
I absolutely- I absolutely don't. But so I hung up on Ryan just to see if you had a question or anything. Do you have a question or anything for us? Because I think Ryan's still got a question.
I've got a question. What's your favourite thing about Ryan Green?
He's the
favourite
number
thing
one
about-
fan.
He's a number one fan.
What's your second favourite thing about Ryan Green?
I like that he likes the same music as I do.
Who's laughing?
Oh, I like you.
He's
Hey,
laughing.
aye.
I think. And I'm trying to remember.
I just kept laughing there.
I might be wrong. Is there a conflict between you and Ryan Green?
Oh fuck! Are you competing for number one fan, Steve?
Nah, I'm alright.
Aye. No, that's cool, man. So you having fun? What you be up to tonight?
Trying to get through to us for fucking an hour.
I want to give you some time, but we've got like 5 minutes left. What do you think of the South Park game?
Oh, I'm so gutted, man. It's not for PS4. What the fuck?
Is it not?
No.
Oh well, man. Was it PS3 though? Isn't it?
Aye, but I sold my PS3 to get my PS4.
Oh no.
That's gotten.
And then like fucking the new Final Fantasy is just PS3 as well, so I'm fucked for that as well.
Although South Park as well, I think is coming out on PC. I think.
But I've got a Mac. I'm fucked.
You're fucked either way, man. What's going? Nah, it might come out on Mac. I don't know, but I'm fucking looking forward to it.
Oh, it looks so
I
good.
I was hoping this was a conversation we could have, but you can't even fucking play it.
I'd be a Jew, like.
Oh yeah, that's the brilliant thing about it.
What is this?
So South Park made a video game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like an RPG. And so at the start you can select what type of character you want your guy to be, and it's like a typical RPG. You've got, was it mage, warrior,
aye,
and Jew. I can't wait to play that game, dude. I'm gonna hang up on you and
That's
call
cool,
back
man.
Ryan.
I was just going to say, like, it's cool. Yous are quite funny. It's working. Don't worry.
Awesome, dude.
Thanks, Steve.
If you ever want to be on it as a guest, man, I'll give you a call one day when, like, because Paul might not always be here, and I was thinking I could have some stand-ins. If you want to be our number one stand-in, I'll give you a call.
I would sit down if that's alright.
No, you have to be standing. That's the whole.
Yeah.
And wear a T-shirt that says standing.
The misconception is I'm not actually sitting down. I'm actually I'm actually standing up.
Yeah.
I'm just crouching. Fucking is agony.
You expect me to 4 chairs as well, man. Right. Alright, dude. Thanks for phoning, man.
Take care, Steve. Bye. Ryan Green.
This summer, Ryan Green on hold. Why is he on?
He was the number one fan.
Dude, I don't know how to unhold him. There's a play button. Ryan.
Hello.
Hey.
Ryan
Green.
This summer.
He's
got to get his baby back.
What baby?
I don't know.
What baby, you ask? He doesn't know. I don't. Hey, okay. We have 2
fart
minutes.
in a jar.
We have 2 minutes left, dude. Do you have something for us?
Well, see how those Lee Rigby killers have like just been sentenced to prison today.
Who?
The what?
Ryan, you fucking bastard.
This is gonna be a weekly occurrence because you always bring up stuff that's happened today, and we're always like a couple of days behind with our knowledge of what's going on.
This is why it's a fun game.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Oh, fuck it. Right.
Do you want to explain what's happening? You want to tell us what's happened? Because we actually don't know.
So like Lee Rigby was mutilated in the middle of London by 2 Nigerians who decided.
Oh, I mean that.
Decided that because he was wearing a Help the Heroes t-shirt, or Help for Heroes, they were going to kill him.
Oh yeah, I know what you're
talking about. Was this the soldier guy, Ryan?
Yeah, the soldier. Lee
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, today the murderers have been, one's been sentenced to indefinite life, and the other one's been sentenced to 45 years before they can apply for parole.
Right.
But at the same time, it had to go to the European Appeals Court first, because they were fighting for the fact that nobody can be sentenced to life in prison for your entire life. As they say, it's inhumane. Now, if a guy's walking down the street wearing a Help for Heroes top, and then he gets mutilated and killed, is that not inhumane too?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you the thing, right? So the whole thing with prison is it's supposed to be rehabilitation. And first of all, deciding when someone should be rehabilitated by saying like 45 years, I'm going to give this person life. I think that whole concept is bullshit.
25 minutes, Sam.
No, well, it should be you're in jail. Yeah. You're in jail until we've decided that you're fit. If that's supposed to be the point of jail, if that's the concept of having a jail, then that should be it, right?
Yes, I agree.
But the other thing is, I want to say about this: the 2 guys who killed him, you have to understand that everyone is well adjusted from the point of view that they're coming from, and these guys are a classic example. Like they don't think of themselves as the evil guys. They don't think of themselves as the bad guys. Just like when we go to Afghan or whatever, we don't think of ourselves as the bad guy. We think we're
helping.
You know what I mean? So everyone, whatever point of view you're coming from, no one sees themselves as the bad guys, right?
Mhm.
Now what they did was wrong, of
Yeah.
course, but you have to try and understand where they're coming from, and appreciate that, and then try and talk to them.
Because they do not do
Well,
it
now,
on
like-
like certain religious grounds.
To an extent, I mean, they are.
But they're not Muslims, Ryan.
Yeah, they were Muslims.
They are Muslims, but I don't know if that was necessarily the base reason as to why
Oh,
they
right,
did what
okay.
they
They
did.
believed that by doing it, they'd become martyrs, which means
Yeah.
that they would get the path to paradise.
Yeah, I mean that's the justification. The guy after he killed Lee Rigby, he ran towards the cops, hoping that they'd shoot him and kill. I think they did shoot him as well, didn't he?
Yeah, they shot one.
They shot one, but I think they didn't kill him.
No,
Now,
I think they shot him in the chest, and then
see-
they took him to hospital and saved him.
Now that's the thing. Now he really did think that if he got there in time, got killed, that's the best death that he can have because of, as he says, the martyr, because he really believes it. So the religion plays into it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also the whole thing about his justification. Because if you watch that video, you hear his justification is right now. I'm sorry that the women had to see it, but right now, my women and now the guy, I don't know, but isn't he like English born? I don't know. Right, I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
He might not be, but if he is, then
They were English born.
is he? Right, so yeah, then that's slightly fucked up saying like, our people over there trying to relate yourself to what's going on over there because you share the same religion, right? But so his argument is that, his women over there are seeing the same thing every day when British soldiers are doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, from that point of view, I'm almost like, you can't argue with that. You're doing the fucking same thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? You are. You're doing the same thing. He's doing the same thing. Now you're both doing. What he did was wrong, but I also kind of think what they're doing is wrong.
Yeah.
So like, how can you then try and judge him?
I think it's just because it happened on home soil and he was just a poor innocent guy. But if he'd been killed out in the field, like because he was a soldier and that, it would be looked at differently. And if he'd killed one of them, wouldn't be talked about at all.
Yeah. Well, I'll just we do have to end it pretty soon. I'm going to end it on one thing though. That relates to all this stuff. This is the fucking idea that comes about by having, when you sort of look at people as being different like that.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a program. It was BBC did it. It's called 10 Years Our War in Afghanistan. Right. Now they went out and they found what they perceived to be, because this is all allegedly, it might not have been, but they thought these were members of the Taliban, and so they went off and hunted them down. They killed 13 of them.
Right.
And while this was all going on, they happened to have these helmets on with these cameras, so you got to see the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't see much because it was kind of shady and whatever, but so you saw quite a lot of it. Then it cuts back to the interviews, and then and they're like talking about, oh, we got this guy, and they'd killed like a total of, I think it was 13 of them, right? One of the British guys got shot.
Right.
And they freaked the fuck out, and it was like trying to get him back to the helicopter. And there was a whole big thing about how they lied to his family, saying that he died suddenly, right? But he actually didn't. He died. It took a long time for him to die. He died in a lot of pain. He died on the helicopter going back and all that stuff. So because it was on film and it was going to be in this documentary, there was a whole big controversy about the fact that he lied to his family.
Yeah.
Now it cuts back to the soldiers, and they're like in that little studio room with the backdrop, and they're talking about it, and they're like, man, when he shot whoever. I don't know why I'm doing
Americans.
I don't know why I'm doing an American accent.
Are they not American?
But this is what it was like. It was like when he shot that guy, it just made me want to go out there and just slaughter all those motherfuckers. It was like, oh, it just got me so angry. An eye for an eye, an eye for an eye. I'm like, you killed fucking 13 of them. What do you mean an eye for an eye?
Aye, I agree with you.
An eye for an eye? Alright, you want an eye for an eye. Okay, line up 12 of your guys and have them shot. Then it'll be a fucking eye for an eye. But this is
That's why the US government wanted WikiLeaks shut down so badly, though.
Oh, that video, yeah.
Because the number of videos, the one with the helicopter where they're just flying around the street shooting everybody.
Yeah. And
The
that's
American government wanted that taken off because
you think about this as well, because people see that video and go, oh yeah, that's shocking. We're fucking lucky to have that video. Think about how many videos like that exist that we've never seen.
Aye. Or even things that weren't videoed that we... do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy.
Right, we're 5 minutes over, so we're going to have to end it there, but thanks for
phoning in, Ryan.
Phoning in again, man.
till next week.
Yeah, till next week. You'll
you can phone us up with some other fucking left-hand fucking who got in nowhere.
I shall.
Alright, dude. Thanks very much, man.
Thank you.
See you later.
Catch you later.
That was it, Sam.
That
So we
was
should
it.
thank everybody that phoned in. We've had a lot of media activity. Obviously, I can't I've been looking at my phone throughout, and we've had a lot of media activity throughout the show, likes and comments and stuff. So I'll hopefully try and have a wee look at all that at some point.
Yeah,
I was just looking at Sam.
any links that we do have, we're going to post them on like the Facebook and probably tweet them and stuff as well. I'm going to have to speed this up because we are over it, and I'm being a fucking time Nazi again here. I can't read your handwriting, Paul.
Right, it was last week. Remember our sign off, Sam? We were thinking of a sign off, and our sign off was, Sam,
thanks everybody. What?
thanks to everyone.
Oh no, it was thanks everybody.
No, it was something weird that didn't make sense. I think it was thanks to everyone. It was thanks to everyone.
Thanks to everyone makes sense. Thanks
to everyone.
No, it
It
doesn't.
doesn't make sense.
No, maybe it
was
wasn't.
thanks for everyone.
Thanks for everyone.
Thanks
that
for
was it.
Right, thanks for everyone.
Not
that
thanks.
was it.
Thanks to everyone does make sense. I was right. It sounds fucking weird, but it's thanks for everyone.
Thanks for
We need to
everyone.
get the page up so we can time it right as well, because
What do you mean?
I need to stop it as we say it, because otherwise they're going to hear us going, that was a really good podcast.
That was really good, Sam.
Alright.
Remember when we finished?
Thank you for everyone.
Thanks for everyone. That was like, I think like, no, they're saying about like make this illegal for like same-sex marriage and stuff like that because of religious views.
Yeah.
Like we wouldn't really come into that then.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if we were guaranteed a separation of church
or
and
seats,
state,
but we wouldn't even be in the same government as them then if we're independent.
Yeah, but that's the thing though, like, I mean, if we vote for independence, is everyone just thinking, well, now that we're independent, now we don't have to do that thing?
Mhm.
But that doesn't mean that we're going to do the other thing.
Aye, that's true.
You know, like, so what are the guarantees as well? That's
Guarantees. Right, right, so I had that about the 26 seats in there. So if we got ourselves, it would be more political, more democratic. A bad point was that I actually thought I had more pussies on that. A bad point was that we would have a smaller voice, like because we would just become our own separate country. So we'd have like a smaller voice in the kind of say of like the European Union, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And there was another con was the like we owed, like obviously the UK owes debts to other countries. Then them debts would be split, so we would get like a remainder of our debts. Like they would need to figure out what Scotland owes, if you know what I mean.
And how much are we paying towards the debt just now?
I don't know, but it would get paid in one go.
Scotland's smaller than England,
Mm-hmm.
so surely our contribution
Must be smaller.
must be smaller.
That's
so
true.
if it's getting divided,
Mm-hmm.
is it getting divided fairly, or
That's
is it just
true.
50-50?
I think I don't think they could justify it being 50-50
Because that's what I'm
I
thinking.
mean,
If it was 50-50, then we are going to end up having to pay more than if we.
no, they wouldn't be, because they're saying that like they would need to figure out who owes what kind of thing and divvy it up like that. But they couldn't split it 50-50 because I mean there's more people that live in London than live in Scotland as a whole.
Is that right?
I think so. I've heard that fact. I'm
crazy.
pretty sure that's close to right or right.
Yeah.
But I mean, like London isn't like, it's not just centre. It's like all the kind of boroughs and that in London. But
Yeah.
I read that and I was like, I kind of was going for it. But I mean, I think there would be a lot of trouble in it.
Because of just the cons, or
Like, I don't know. I just think it would cause.
do you think it'll strengthen this idea of patriotism?
I think. Do you know what I think will happen, Sam? I think like at the start it'll be amazing. Like I think like we'll probably have like a boom, like the economy and all that will pick up and everything will be going great. And then after a while it'll just go shit. Like
Right.
because I just think like Ireland, like when Ireland became a republic. Do you know what I mean? They had like an amazing boom, but they now like they're like no doing that great.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing. Anything could happen,
Mhm.
right? I mean,
Look at Greece as well.
yeah, and this comes down to my stance on it. And when this is what I say, people probably won't like it if I say, well, it's largely irrelevant, because people are getting really excited about this now, and you get a lot of people that are quite enthusiastic about it. From where I'm standing, and I could be wrong, if you want to phone in and correct me, we can have that conversation. But right now, I see all economies in the world is going down the toilet.
Aye. No, you're right.
And it's not due to bad political decisions or anything like that. It's due to the fact that we all use money, which is created through fractional reserve, lending policies. People know about that, then they know what I'm talking about. It's like a game of musical chairs. The economy is just now.
It's just getting shifted away.
And we're getting more and more in debt, and we're getting in debt to ourselves in a way. Anything.
Oh my god, I'm excited.
And I completely forgot about it. I was saying to myself, don't forget to do that, and I did. I went and forgot. I wanted to just, before we started, say thanks to Hannah Ford for making
the
artwork,
because
that's pretty awesome.
I know. I liked it.
I
as
really
well.
like it.
I know. I was pleased with it.
And guess what? If you don't like it, make your own fucking art.
Yeah.
Send us in.
Fan art.
No, but no, Paul. Fart work. All right. No, yeah. So we appreciate that. Thanks.
Don't
very much.
send us farts in jars.
Yeah. Well, it's not like we're going to open them.
Yeah. But we could keep it. Imagine if, like, see over there, there's like a radio.
Let's make that a thing.
But if we had like a shelf of all the fans' farts in jars
with their names on it,
that'd be fucking really creepy.
It would be. But you know what? No one else is doing it, and that's what sells, Paul.
It's not sex. Farts in jars.
Sex doesn't sell.
I think I'd be a bit freaked out if somebody sent a fart in a jar though.
How would you know that it was like a fart though? Because it'd just be a jar.
I know.
They could put some nice fresh Highland there in that jar, and tell you it's a fart, and then they'll be laughing because like he thinks it's a fart and he won't open it. Yet if he does open it, he's gonna get some nice fresh air. And then
but then you would never open it because that would be like the risk. You don't want to open it to let the fart out.
All right, we're not having a segment on farts and jars. I hope you didn't prepare for that. I hope you didn't write that down.
There's me just saying this is going to be very, very serious. Fart jars. Right, so it was nice artwork anyway. Thanks very much for that.
Hashtag fart jars if you want
fart jars
to talk about anything. See, I think you've got more to talk about than I do, so I think you should go first with something.
Oh my god! Well, mine's just going into things off the Facebook. I'll just rip one out.
Sure.
See, that's I'm rip one out. Right now, this is going to get. There's two things here that are biggies. Right.
Right.
And one of them, I didn't know. It's a big issue, and I feel like everybody's like, you need to talk about it because we're Scottish.
Oh no.
Right, well, we just leave that.
Is it Scottish independence?
Scottish independence.
Aye. I say oh no because I'm pretty much 50-50. And my reason is, I don't think people like my reason.
What's your reason?
My reason is that, to me, for the most part, it's completely irrelevant.
See, that's kind of what I was thinking. I was like, I don't know how it would affect. Like, I've never voted, right? I've just never have because I'm like, well, I don't really see, like, I maybe should. I don't look into politics that much. I don't really see how things affect me overly. But I mean, I'm sure if it was different. But then I was looking into it. I didn't have a clue about Scottish independence, so I was looking into it last night, and it was really fucking hard to do because I was like, there's loads of articles on it. I'm like, I just want like essentially pros and cons, and I want to find something that's biased or unbiased, because everything is obviously like newspapers and that, and they're all like the Telegraph and all this kind of stuff, and they're going to be like in favour of England. Then
it's hard papers to sort of weed through the bullshit and get the proper intellectual arguments.
But I've got some arguments, right?
Right.
And after my arguments, I'm more for the for, right?
Right.
My name is Sam, and that's not all. I got a pretty good show with my good friend Paul, so listen up to the chairman of the board. I talk to him and he talks to me. We talk a lot of shit, but you get it for free, so don't complain, these gadgets cost a lot. So now we're at the end of the song, and everybody knows what's going on. So here we have the chairman of the, yes we have the chairman of the board. Because we're bored.
Too, Paul.
I know. I can count some.
Don't be a dick right away.
Oh my god. Right, I know.
Welcome to episode 2, Chairman of the Board. I sound I sound like my mic's not on. That's
It's
right.
never on, Sam.
That's about the second time I've done that, and this is only our second episode.
I know. You didn't do it last time though, but you did it
I did
in
it
the
on a
testing
test
before.
one. Such an idiot.
I thought we were going to have crazy technical difficulties here. We got signed out of YouTube. We had a webcam that wasn't working.
I know last time we started a couple of minutes late because we forgot to put the... You're supposed to click preview and then you have to hit live stream, so there was like a delay and all that stuff. So this time we had it set up fine, but then for some reason YouTube logged me out.
I just scratched my face, I could hear it. Sounds like there's mice.
Maybe there is, Paul.
I'm fucking not my
Maybe
beard.
there is mice.
I've not got enough beard.
Oh yeah, you shaved his
I know.
beard.
Sam was worried that I wouldn't have enough beard, and I feel like it's coming back. That'd be good.
We're good.
I think we're good. Sam,
yeah.
I feel like we've got a lot to cover this week, and I feel like it's going to be. We had comments last week that we were overly serious, and we weren't funny. And I feel like if you're wanting a laugh, just fucking turn off now, because like we've got a lot in here.
Yeah, this episode's probably going to be a kind of... I don't know, it doesn't have to be too... But I don't know what you're going to say. It could be.
Well, I don't know if it's funny stuff, but like I like to think that we can bring a funny side to things. Look at all my notes.
We can. We just sometimes choose not to.
I know. Don't you read my notes?
No, I think last week as well, it was sort of... Because it was our first week, we were kind of still trying to, find out...
But see, that's what, like, we would talk about that anyway.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, no, we would. That was.
We're not always full of jokes when we're just talking to each other.
No.
But sometimes we are.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's good.
Sometimes it is good. Sometimes we like to sing a lot as well.
We do.
But that will never
I don't think we should do that.
No, it'll never happen. It'll just be me and you sing Tenacious D for 2 hours.
Plus, there's the whole issue of the copyright will get taken off of YouTube. Because YouTube will detect my voice and it'll be like, that's Jack Black.
Nah, who's the fucking other guy? I don't know.
Oh, I think we're going to have a good show though.
I hope so.
A lot of people.
I feel like we're bustling with content. We have a guy that's practically waiting to fucking phone in. He sent my message, so just hold off. Hold off a wee bit.
I do appreciate that, but I kind of have to try and keep it to this format of that. Still sounds a bit kind of echoey. Is that alright? That sound okay?
I don't know. Can you thumping about?
Alright. If our volume's not right, if there's something not mixed right, if you give us a message and let us know, that sounds a bit better.
Yeah. I don't know what the best way to get us like. So I don't know like what other arguments there are, but I've just kind of went through. Right. Basically, the 4 arguments seemed a lot stronger than the cons or the against. Right, first of all, right, we've got a thing there's a thing in this country called winter allowance, right, and it's for old people and stuff like that, like no, they're always worried about old people dying in winter. And obviously Scotland's like a harsher climate, like especially up north in the Highlands and stuff like that, and they get harder winters, and like in the wee islands and like Shetlands and all that kind of stuff, they get harder winters, but they get the same allowance, even as like somebody down in Cornwall, where it's maybe not that bad weather, like somewhere that's like like closer to France, or like it's supposed to be warmer down south of the country, they get the same allowance. And an argument should be that the people up north in worst weather areas should get more allowance.
Oh, I get you. Yeah.
So that was one argument for, because it's like as the way we are just now, it's like one country, so it's the same everywhere. Because then people would be like, why is English folks getting the same as them Scottish folks up there? They're rolling in their winter money.
Is that an English accent?
It's supposed to be, mate. Oh, we were caught in a geezer. It was really bad, I was trying to do an accent and think.
No, it was probably pretty good. I don't know what English people sound like.
I love a good accent, Sam. I do.
Well, you do like your sort of English. Because you do a bit of rapping sometimes as well.
Yeah, man.
What's that voice? What's that? Where's that from?
It's like London.
Right.
I don't know, like it comes out in different forms.
I'm not putting on you on the spot. I'm not telling you to do like a rap right.
Do a song.
I'm just trying to think what that voice.
It's like like a guy for the streets, like fucking. How would you even say it?
I know you say you get me blood.
You get me blood.
I hear you saying
we
that.
even talking about family. Trust me, like that kind of voice.
I could not do that.
How not?
My voice is.
What about like a Newcastle accent?
There's our guessing game. You tell me the place now. Trying to think of what they sound like.
How are you, man? I'm going and doing the tune. That's like Jordan.
Isn't that?
That's Newcastle.
Yeah. What's Scouse? Is that the same?
Is that
thing?
Liverpool?
I don't know. Oh no.
Alright, calm down.
Yeah.
Liverpool.
That's right. Okay, so we've got the accents down. Yeah, I know what you mean. So it's the same.
I like an accent.
Right. Okay. I want you to tell me all your
My
things
points.
that you've written down first.
Right. So I've got the winter allowance. Right. I've got. Right. Apparently, as well, we'll have a better economy once this once if we get Scottish independence because we've got oil. Right, and then the English would be like, I think they're not happy about that because then they're like, well, we're obviously getting some of their oil money because we're part of one nation. But also we'd get, I just heard somebody laughing through there. Because obviously they would split it. Or like some of our oil money goes to, like, it's split between the UK, but then we would just get all the oil money, they wouldn't get any. So that's a benefit. Right, this is another weird one as well, right? In like the House of Lords, they've got like seats for like all the kind of government people and all that kind of stuff, right? And England, the UK, like there's 26 seats are taken up by members of the Church of England, and these aren't like politicians, they're like bishops and stuff like that.
That's right. Yeah.
So like they're saying if we
had the same,
we wouldn't have that though.
Right, we would just have.
It would just be like they were saying it would just be like. It would all just be like political figures, and like it would be more of a democracy instead of these people that are like, I don't know, like the Church of England. I mean, I would say Twitter, but nobody's really on the Twitter. So I mean, like,
well, we're
Facebook,
not on the Twitter either. So.
I could be on the Twitter, but like I'll open the Facebook, and you can send us a message, and then we can, you can like message in live.
So we're still sort of feeling out how this whole thing's going, but so if you want to just help us out, message us if you think that one of us is too loud or anything like that. I'm just gonna give me 1 second. I'm just gonna lift this.
Yeah, sure. I was very impressed with the Facebook this week, Sam, because I put up a post a couple of days ago, and I was saying like help us kind of like I was saying the Maverick Media YouTube's nearly 1,000 viewers, and we were nearly 100 likes and 100 views, and now we're near 120 I think now for last week's episode, but we've like, and then you're up over 1,000 views on the YouTube channel as well, which is really good. I
mean, some people might think 120, that's not that. That's pretty good for this is like, do you know what I mean? This is a brand new thing. No one knows if it's any good yet. We don't even know if it's any good yet.
No. Have you listened back to it?
I haven't actually. No. That was the thing I was going to say as well. Like, I mean, I've been quite busy, and I think that was one of the reasons last week as well. It kind of got off to a slow start because I hadn't prepared anything. I hadn't thought about what we were going to talk about, and it was just sort of trying to wing it from the get-go. Yeah, I have something that I thought about talking.
Look at this. Can I just say we weren't prepared at all last week. Now, like last night, what I did was I went through various things that I was told to talk about, and I've wrote notes so I know what to talk about this week. And also, me and Sam have just equipped ourselves with notepads that we found in a drawer in the house. So we're ready to rock and roll. Sam's got a subject. And after as well, having done the first one, we've now had a lot of messages saying talk about this. Can you talk about this? This is what I've been picking up, because a lot of the things that people message in about, I was like, the fuck's that? And I was researching last night, Sam. I had to learn stuff. I went and schooled myself, taking time out my own life, taking time out your own time to educate myself. Even stuff that I didn't know about or hadn't heard about before. I was like, fucking, I need to learn about that so I can be like when number one fan Ryan Green phoned in last week and asked us about WhatsApp. I mean, I didn't have a clue about like what that meant, or like I knew what WhatsApp was, but I mean, I was going to read about it. Yeah, I know what you mean. During the week, and I couldn't. Do you know what though? I think it's kind of good when there's a subject that maybe one of us will know something about, but the other one doesn't, because if we both know about the thing and we're just having the conversation, it's almost like pandering, like we're just you know what I mean, we're just having it for the sake of having it, and that's one of these things I'm just like, it's so unnatural. Do you think the whole career thing was like that last week because we both knew about it? Maybe yeah. I mean, there was obviously some little bits, but I remember like thinking, like there was a lot of times you'd be telling me things and I'm like, yeah, I get it, and then, but that's what it is, it's like when something new comes up, then it's like, then the conversation can progress. That's when it's better. Yeah. I learned a lot of the evolution stuff yesterday, Sam. I see my phone's flashing. That means somebody's telling us something somewhere. But I need to put the old glasses on. Alright. Oh well, apparently I've just got some feedback from our stationery head of stationery.
Right.
That's secured as a notepads. Our volumes are okay, Sam.
Oh, good.
And we've got 6 live viewers, so that's quite exciting.
Woo!
Thanks very much, guys.
Sorry, there was one thing I wanted to say before we got started doing